What is going on, everybody? Glad you're here if you're here already, and I'm glad you're here if you're stopping by later, because maybe you couldn't catch the stream. Maybe it was a time where it just wasn't convenient for you, but you know what? No matter when you're watching this, thank you. It's much appreciated. Let's go ahead and get started with some stuff here. As you saw from the title of the video, I'm going to be chatting about some Batman stuff, and it's not just myself that is going to be chatting about this. I got some people that'll be joining me here, but I have to send them a link. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. You would think that, hey, you have a channel. You've done this before. You'd think you'd be prepared. You're not wrong. You'd think I would be. This was a very, very last minute put together quickly type of thing, folks. So I genuinely appreciate the patience in advance. And so, yeah, it won't be too much longer that we will get my fellow Cinema Squad bros on here. Again, I'll be joined shortly by the Upside Dan and Man of Movies, getting a chance to go ahead and talk about some stuff with this movie here. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into it. I'm not going to wait for them to get this conversation started. Guys, who's seen the movie? What do you think of the movie? I know there's some of the most typical questions to begin with, but got to start somewhere. And as I am awaiting, I see some comments coming in. Thank you so much. As I'm awaiting some more responses here, I will go ahead and just straight up start off with obviously seeing the movie. Why the hell would I be having a spoiler discussion on my channel if it wasn't the case? And it's good. It's definitely good, right? It's one of those where I'm going to go off and say that I think some people are like making it seem like it's the second coming of Jesus. I don't know if it's exactly that type of level, but it is without a doubt a very good entry within the Batman universe. It's been a while. It's been 10 years since we got a solo Batman film, and a lot of people were kind of complaining at first, oh, another Batman movie? Hey, shut your faces. You know damn well you want another Batman movie. You just want to see it done right. And this definitely was done right. There's some things here and there, which we will get into within this stream and everything. But for the most part, I got to hand it to them within the sense of they really did a good job of knocking this out of the park with the feel, the tone. It's a very stylistic type of Batman approach, which it needs to be to capture that character the best. So I was very happy with a lot of what they brought to the table here. And again, looking to go ahead and see what you happen to be thinking about as far as all this. So to everybody that's in the chat so far, what's going on? Appreciate you all stopping by. Forgive me in advance as I'm going to kind of go ahead and narrow this down to comments that mainly focus specifically on the Batman. And I guess this is a good one to start with. Mr. Eric Thorpe, thank you for stopping on by, but I know you also have a discussion going on later today that I'm going to go ahead and try. If it's just right after this, I'll probably just pop on and see what's going on with your discussion there. But Eric's going as far as saying this is his new, not just favorite movie in general, not just Batman movie. Is that what you're saying? Because that's saying a lot. I just saw that a lot of people have been putting out Batman ranking lists ever since this movie dropped, and a lot of people have definitely been putting this like towards the top of their list, and I would as well. Not the top though. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm saying a bit too much too quickly. I've only seen it once, so maybe if I see it again, it'll sink in even more, and I'll feel differently. And it's been a minute since I've seen some of the other Batman flicks, so to be fair, I would want to kind of watch them all, not side by side, like all one after another. That'd be a bit much. It's a hell of a marathon there, but I would kind of like to have more of a refresh take on each and every one of them. With that being said, guys, The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is still it for me. I just don't see how something could potentially. I shouldn't say like I don't see how something could top it. That makes it sound like nothing will ever be better. That'd be great if something they make is better someday. But as of right now, I don't know. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. This, what we got here, great. Yes. Good Batman content, 100%. The best Batman movie. I don't know. And it's mostly just because, again, I think that there were certain elements that will probably be learned to appreciate more as it goes on. Like, I truly feel it's making pretty clear that this is going to turn into like a franchise, right? They've already made it very, very crystal clear they're talking about a sequel. Matt Reeves was coming out in an interview talking about that. So I'm excited about that, but it seems like they're trying to turn it into a trilogy. So I feel like maybe over time, when the other films have come out, we'll kind of be able to go backwards and appreciate certain things more, right? But at the meantime, I can only go off of what we got. So, best Batman movie, not quite. With that being said, it looks like I have managed to yap long enough to get someone else to join on with me here, so I don't necessarily have to be the only one talking to you. Although, let's be honest. Let's be honest. You guys will just sit here and listen to me talk for a while, right? 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 Okay. Anyway, I have a special guest, the first one that is mentioned on the description here, and got to give the proper introduction here, folks. What's up, Dan?
Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to be here, talk about the Batman.
Oh, yeah. That makes two of us. We can talk about it if we try. That makes two of us, or three of us. Wait. Oh, shit. I was trying to really make the timing perfect. Or three of us.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Did you like that little serenade?
I got the wrong memo. I thought we were on the other live stream for the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer reaction. I wore the wrong shirt.
It's understandable. That was, man, I'm not going to divert too much because I obviously want to stay on topic of what's going on here, but that was such a holy shit. What a way to throw our week for a loop with that Kenobi trailer.
Oh, absolutely. But you know what, Jace? I think you would agree with me. That's a whole different live stream in itself.
Oh, yes. I absolutely 100% think that maybe sooner than we think we might be getting a chance to go ahead and talk about that in depth. But just first and foremost, guys, how you be? How's things been treating you?
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the Batman, and yeah, just in general, it's been pretty good.
Been pretty good, man. It's been taking over the world, this movie. Everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's been hyping it up. I feel like I've been over this huge cloud of Batman has been over me for a good month now, and it's still over me.
It seems like it. As far as with everyone, you just get caught up in the I don't know, the fog, just swept up in the wave that is Batman. Of what it really kind of feels like when any movie's coming out, especially superhero ones, they tend to do that. Like when Spider-Man No Way Home came out, felt like there was definitely just like followed by a cloud of Spider-Man the whole entire time. But I hear you, man. I'm here right there with you. Guys, we've thankfully already got a decent amount of people that are joining along in here with us and getting some of the conversation started. But before I even bother getting over to that, let me go ahead and take this away just momentarily. I want to just start off with maybe some general thoughts. I feel like that's always a good place to kick off with. Just what do you think? I was kind of saying before you guys got connected on like whether I thought this really was the best Batman movie or not, or just general impressions by everything, good, bad, and different. Dan, want to just kind of hear just a general thought, bud. What did you happen to think of this new take?
So I loved it when I first saw it. I still really liked it, but it took a day or two till I could say that I think I loved it. And then I saw it again, and I still love it. I did feel the length both times. I know Eric is going to kill us, or kill me. I didn't think it needed to be that long, but I wouldn't really name something, that I would take out necessarily, but because I still was intrigued most of the time, But yeah, no, those are my general thoughts. I thought Robert Pattinson was a good Batman, and I think Paul Dano was amazing. Zoe Kravitz was really good. They all were, really.
Without a doubt. I agree. And as far as the length, the only thing I'll say before throwing it over to John, because this is something we've kind of had a little preview discussion of this within the group chat. My best way to kind of narrow it down is I feel like it's not so much that it was too long as much as it didn't need to be as long as it was, right? Because I agree, Dan, it's very tough to kind of say, well, what would you take out then? Honestly, little bits and pieces from different parts. Like there's just some crime scenes where Batman's like walking around forever, type thing. And it's cool. It's interesting, which makes you feel like, oh, it's not over the top. It's not too much. It just didn't need to be as much as it was in certain places. Was that a huge detriment? Thankfully, not really, but it's noticeable. And obviously, we're not the only ones that feel that way. But good stuff all around. I'm glad that you like this take that Robert Pattinson delivered us. John, what do you feel over there, man?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie, honestly. I'll take some pieces from both of your guys' thoughts there. to start on the runtime, I don't think it was a bad thing. I quite liked the runtime beforehand and during the movie. I thought that it was perfect with the story that it was trying to tell. What they tried to pack in those 3 hours, I thought worked well enough. I have nothing to say about the runtime. Give me 3 hours for Batman 2. I'm okay with it. I like it. The story itself, here's the thing, guys. I just thought it was a little bit one note. And now that doesn't mean the movie is bad. I mean, a perfect circle is still a perfect circle. But it's still just a circle. And I wish it was a little bit more than what it was. It just felt a bit too one note for me. As well as Robert Pattinson's Batman. Felt a little bit too one note for me. Now, the actual Batman character when he's in costume, great. I think, give me some time, he may be my favorite Batman. I loved it. I love that he was Batman for 97% of the entire film. But Bruce Wayne wasn't it for me. Bruce Wayne was one of the worst parts of the movie for me. All in all, guys, should you believe the hype? To an extent. I would say to an extent. It's not the cure to cancer, but it is definitely a step there.
That's what a great way to put it. Yeah, I referred to it as the second coming of Jesus earlier, because it's another way that I feel like some people are acting about it. But yeah, that's very well said, man. And I agree heavily. I think that when it comes down to it, you can't help but be held to playing two characters simultaneously when you take on the role of Batman. You have to be prepared to be able to be a good Batman, and that is the most important part. But if you can't come to the table with a good Bruce Wayne as well, then you're missing half of the whole entire role there. And realistically, we've thrown this out there before. I've seen in an interview or two where they tried to go ahead and give some sort of justification for this, where they mentioned that this particular version of Batman is so obsessed with being Batman that he has no interest in being Bruce Wayne. And I can respect that. I get it. With that being said, though, John, I'm right there with you. And I think that honestly, when we get more movies, I was saying this at the very beginning of the stream, that possibly I might be able to appreciate other details of certain things. This is one of the ones I might be able to appreciate later on, is when he does come in, or if he does come into his own as Bruce Wayne. Maybe I'll be able to look back on this and be like, hey, that's cool, because look at how he started and now how he ended up and everything.
I totally agree, Jace. I think this reminds me a lot of Dune. The people that love Dune, they're like, oh, just wait for Dune Part 2. It'll make you see Part 1 in a different light. Maybe. But right now, I'm seeing it in the light I'm seeing it in. So, he's just obsessed with being Batman, and he's obsessed with getting this case solved, and that's why his Bruce Wayne is lackluster. His Bruce Wayne is only one. No, that's why, because he hasn't had the time to flesh out that dynamic yet. And I'm going, in hindsight, that may be true. Hindsight's 2020, guys. Remember that. But right now,
no, I agree. I would like to see him have a little bit more charisma to him. Not like he needs a full-blown crazy personality or anything, but just a little bit more. It almost seems like he's got a little too much of an emo touch to him, right? Not just from appearance, but even from the way that he's acting and everything, as far as the dark and broody. It fits, but yeah, I think it'll evolve. I have hope that it'll evolve and continue to grow. Now, as far as performances go, because obviously everyone was wondering the most about Batman. Robert Pattinson being the guy from Twilight, right? You're just wondering how the heck is this possibly going to go? And I do think he's done a pretty good job of making people have a reason to kind of push that to the side. I don't hold the Twilight thing against him whatsoever now after seeing this. Now, with that being said, there were some other really good performances that were brought to the table here that I would love to kind of go over and everything, as well as the movie as a whole. But speaking on specifically Zoe Kravitz as Batman or as Catwoman. I'm sorry, I was so focused on Batman. But yeah, no, that was something where I really can't get over how she is definitely my new favorite Catwoman as far as live action interpretations go, which I think is saying a lot. You know, Michelle Pfeiffer's really like held the reins for a long time, and you know, I know there's mixed emotions on basically anyone else that's come in to step into the role. But what do you guys think as far as like, do you feel that she kind of nailed it, or do you think am I off here and she didn't fit as well as I'm saying?
I think, I think she fit really well. Like, I thought she came off as the character. It was perfect. And honestly, I would say, like, kind of bringing it back to Batman, I think all the other main characters blew me away more than Robert Pattinson did as Bruce Wayne Batman. And not to say that he was bad. Like I said, I thought he was great, and I do agree with you guys about like the dynamic between him as Bruce Wayne and him as Batman. But I think that she just did really incredible. I knew that from the trailers. She looked like Catwoman. She seemed like Catwoman. Yeah, she said lines that I would believe Catwoman would say. So I think she did very good.
Yeah, and it's exactly right. It's the dialogue and it's the delivery of it. That's something that I can't get over. It's just it's a very subtle thing because it's not like she's doing an accent or a specific voice. It very much kind of just being an accentuated version of what she seems to be as a person, but it just fits. It really clicks with what I expect from that character. John, what do you think?
I thought it was great. I'm not ready to say it was my favorite Catwoman performance. That still goes to Halle Berry. I'm just kidding. Of course, I'm just kidding, guys. But what I'm not kidding about is I'm not ready to say it's my favorite Catwoman performance just yet. I want to just marinate on it a little bit, but it was great. I love how deep we got into Selena Kyle's backstory here, which I didn't think was going to happen. I, from the trailers, was thinking, okay, like Selena Kyle's going to be in this movie more than she was in The Dark Knight Rises, but whoa, wait a second. Like she's like her own lead character in this film. And so I really like that arc about her.
Me too.
You know what? I gotta say it's a great point to bring up, but then like in tandem with that, isn't it so nice that she kind of is like her own main character, but at no point do I ever feel that she overshadows Batman.
1,000% agree with you.
Yes. You know, because even when they get into a scuffle, right? Like at a brief moment, it's a very, very small one, but I love that it's not even a competition. Like he dominates her, and you know what I mean? It's like it's not even close. And again, it's just the way it should be. So it was cool to see that she's very much capable and can hold her own. But you know, they still made it of like, but this is fucking Batman's movie, and it's Batman.
I love that, Jace, by the way. That's something I was thinking about while I was watching the movie. And before you guys comment, we're not woman haters here. We love women. It's just the trope of always having the woman dominate the established man. It's always been that way. Like build up the woman so that when she kicks the man's ass, we're like, hell yeah.
Or even men on men. Like if Robin came in the next one and started beating the heck out of Batman.
Could you imagine?
No, and Dan, actually, thank you. That's a fair point, just to show how much it's not so much gender or whatever the case is. It's the character, right? Because you can't have someone just walk in, even if she's an experienced Catwoman. That's great, and even if the Robin was to be an experienced martial artist already, cool. But they're not Batman, man. You got to make sure you set that precedent of who is the main character of this movie and everything. Let's see, just real quick to kind of, it seems like we've got at least a couple of some thoughts that tie in with our own here. And it was Eric throwing out that he is going to go as far as saying he thinks that Colin Farrell might have been his favorite performance, which, this is something that I actually have something that a little bit later on I wanted to kind of circle back around to, specifically with the spinoff series focused on him. But just for now, I have conflicted emotions, and hear me out. This is why. I think he did phenomenal. Right. So there's nothing to say about like, oh, what, you didn't like it? You didn't think he did a good job? No, dude, he killed it. And I would have never, if you wouldn't have told me that was Colin Farrell, never would have guessed that was him. And I give him so much credit for being that believable in that performance. But doesn't it make you guys think even just a little bit? Then why not just get an actor that already kind of fits with that? Like, is Colin Farrell so special that you needed to put him in 30 pounds of makeup and have him do an accent. And again, it's not like I have an issue. I'm just kind of back and forth. Like, did you need to?
Maybe there was an audition process that we don't know about. Because if there was an audition process, then it makes a lot more sense why Colin Farrell got picked, because they saw a whole bunch of people, including Farrell, and Farrell just happened to be it. Now, if there wasn't an audition process, I want to know how the hell they picked Farrell. I just have this feeling that maybe they were just thinking, man, this movie's probably going to be Oscar worthy. We need to add like a makeup category into our movie. Let's get like a really skinny actor and put a fat suit and makeup on him. We'd be nominated next year.
That's what I was gonna say, John. Maybe they just wanted not a gimmick, but they were like, okay, let's do a makeup category and put him in a bunch of makeup. I gotta say, so don't get me wrong, I thought Colin Farrell did amazing. I thought he's a really good actor. I thought he did amazing in this role. But I almost am more impressed with the makeup work than his actual performance. But I did like his character. Like I did think he did a good job. But for his performance, for as much hype was around him because of his makeup, I was expecting even a bigger performance, maybe a more emotional. I don't know.
No, yeah. Well, Dan, you might know this, but he's spinning off into his own HBO Max show.
Yeah.
So this is only the beginning. Like I thought he was gonna be the crime lord Penguin from the comics here. And when they introduce Falcone, I'm like, oh, no, he's not. He's not at all. So the movie ends with him taking power finally.
Yeah.
So this is only the beginning. I'm sure we'll all probably really enjoy his character more in the later installments.
As of now, though, it's a very fair point to say, Dan, because like again, people have this really bad habit of you say one thing, they immediately think you mean the opposite of the other. So, right, it's nothing to do with the performance. Like, just take that and put it in its place, keep it to the side for a moment. The makeup department deserves, like, so much praise for that freaking put together with that character. Because, again, it's just, you would never be able to tell me. Like, if someone walked up, did not know the casting beforehand, and said, I guess that was Colin Farrell, I'd call him a fucking liar to their face, because that's a load of shit if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. So, anyway, I'm glad that at least this seems to be leaving good impressions, as well as right, just to the point where Eric thinks that it might be his favorite. And there was something else that at least Drew was popping in, just saying kind of as well, that he thinks that he doesn't get enough credit, which, I want to go as far as saying, I feel like he kind of almost got more praise than a lot of other people when it came to hyping up his character before this came out. I mean, my God, they went as far as what we're saying with giving him a spin-off HBO Max series. If that qualifies as underrated, then I'm not sure what not underrated would kind of be looked at. But nonetheless, Drew, I still respect the fact that it just means that clearly he left that good of an impression on you to right where you're just like, hold on, guy deserves even more credit than what he's getting here.
Yeah, and if Drew, if you're not talking about the performance in Batman, you just mean Colin Farrell as an actor in general, I then do agree that he is underrated. A lot of people don't really watch a lot of his movies that go under the radar. There's one that just came out called After Yang. No one's talking about it, but I'm hearing great things about it. He has the cult classic. It's only come out a few years ago, The Lobster. People love The Lobster, and that flew under the radar. So I do agree, in general, Colin Farrell is underrated.
Makes sense. That's fair. This is, I believe, someone new, if I'm not mistaken. I can't say I'm familiar with, but always more than happy to have someone new, if indeed is. And if not, then clarify who you are, so I don't have to feel real bad for thinking you're a stranger. But Rain, I guess, or Rain 2? Not sure if we would have put that into the title there. You didn't miss terribly much here as far as we're now rocking into 24 minutes into the stream and stuff. But yeah, that's the great part about these streams is, number one, you could always just go backwards while it's playing live, or you could just keep up with the live stuff. And as soon as it's done, just go back and watch the part that you missed. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. Really appreciate you stopping by. John C., what's up, my dude? How you be? Good to see you. He was just throwing in as far as regards to the lengths that he thinks it's about an hour too long. Could have done that in 2 hours. That's one of those where, I kind of stick to as far as how I said it before, so I won't repeat too much. I think that would be a bit tough. But
Yeah.
again, I don't know if the full 2 hours, 55 minutes was really enough. I think that honestly, man, they could have pinned it to a 2.5 hour time frame. They would have been good.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I could see them taking 15 to 20, 30 minutes off of it, but not a whole hour, I
don't think. Dan, your face.
Was that your pizza guy?
Yeah, it was a pizza guy.
Was it Tom Holland?
I wish.
Well, Dan, I will say, though I do like the 3 hours, and I wouldn't mind the 3 hours being a Batman thing. Shaving off 15 to 30 minutes, I could see. And the part I would shave off is one of the weirdest parts of the movie with like the 20 Riddler men they're trying to like kill the mayor. What the heck? The city's being flooded already. That's a crisis in itself. You don't need to add this thing that you don't even really build up anyway. I thought like they were going to shoot everyone. I'm like, damn, this is going to be crazy. This theater, people are going to leave my theater if this happens. And then it's like, we're just here to be fodder. Because Batman's like, oh, this movie is actually really deep and philosophical. Yeah, we need more action. At 20 Riddler guys.
So, oh man. So I'm wondering if they were gonna shoot more people because remember the Batman came in at that point.
Maybe then
they started shooting at him. But I took it as because I just rewatched The Dark Knight. You know how the Joker was saying the tunnels aren't safe for you to leave town, so people got on the lifts because that was a trap. So the Riddler wanted to flood the towns to get them to one place because that was a trap. That's how I took it.
No, yeah. You're not wrong there, Dan. Absolutely. It's just I would find a way to rewrite that, and I wouldn't do it the way they did it. I don't like that the aspect of the 20 Riddler men who all really don't mean much.
Yeah,
I could have done with one less action scene and a scene of Batman who all throughout the whole movie has been so gloomy and brooding and just kind of feeling sorry for himself, finally coming to terms with him being a hero and having, instead of an action sequence of him beating up people, him saving people.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they did make a little spin of that towards the very, very end.
Yeah.
Right? But I agree. If they would have just kind of started that back up a little bit earlier, when that was all going down, that would have helped drive that point of how that really was dawning upon him, as opposed to kind of like, dare I say, almost treated like an afterthought.
Yeah,
when it was placed in. So yeah, and you know, this is something that I'm really glad this kind of naturally segued into this because, guys, probably the one thing that I wanted to talk about, one of the things that is a main subject, is just like the kind of the story in general. Now, John, you were mentioning earlier, you felt like it was kind of one note and everything. And this is, I wanted to like expand on that and specifically like Riddler's agenda. And if we felt like it was actually something that was worthy of, I don't know, I guess all this hubbub behind it. In other words, I feel like when you tell me that the Riddler's going to be the main antagonist for this take on the Batman, and with everything that they put in the trailers and all, it's like, I really was anticipating to be sitting there like utterly confused as to like what's going on, like what's going to happen next, and how did he know that person's with this, and the connections here and all that type of stuff. And I felt more or less like at the end of it that things just happened, right? Like it just kind of goes like none of the riddles stop Batman in his tracks. He never stops anything in advance. He never like gets enough clues to like stop a murder from happening. It's just, here's a crazy kill. Here's a clue. Go to the next crazy kill with another clue. And it's, I don't even know if they're fair to call them clues. It definitely was. But it was one of those where, like I said, instead of it being like an unfolding mystery, it was just, here you go. And now here's the next part. And here's the next part. As an audience member, I never felt kind of like I was guessing. But maybe I'm alone in that. Did you guys ever feel like this was an actual like riddle or enigma that was at play here?
So, so the second time I saw this, I got and I understood the Riddler's motives in a lot more. I don't know why, but like I just was like, okay, that's not deep. But the Riddler, like he was one note-ish, I'd say. But I got his motivation more, but I do agree about like the mystery. Like after the movie or before the movie, I was going to do a spoiler review myself. And then after the movie, I'm like, what am I like? There's one thing to spoil, and we'll get to that probably. I'm guessing the Barry Keoghan stuff, and like that's the main thing. Like I don't know if people are really gonna care. Oh my God, Martha was in an insane asylum before. Like, I mean, yeah, but like, so I didn't do a spoiler review on my own because I was like, there's not much I want to talk about because I wasn't really shocked, or I wasn't really wondering what's gonna happen next for the most part. With the Riddler and his clues and everything. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but I will say I did get his motivations and everything more the second time. And like I said, Paul Dano does an amazing performance otherwise, regardless. But yeah.
Oh yeah. I've only seen the movie once, and I will say, Jace, I agree with you more. Again, Dan, you've seen the movie twice, so that's why you kind of understand it a little bit more. I'm with you, Jace. I not only do I'm a little bit confused on why he wanted to do it, but the things that I did understand just let me down a little bit. Like, oh, that's it. Okay, like it would have been cool if all the notes and all the riddles were leading up to the explosion of the seawall, and it was kind of just adding up to Riddler is just psychotic.
Yeah,
maybe there's an agenda here, something to tie it up. But I even was talking to you guys privately, telling you guys I'm a big true crime fan. I love true crime. And I felt that the way they wrote the Riddler here was like a real life serial killer. But then they got to the motive. And I'm like, is this Scream?
Well, right, because without trying to just rip it to shreds, and I'm not saying every single thing needs to be like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever, but this was something that to find out that the end result here is that he's basically just an upset kid on social media that has a small following of people that he's like corrupted to take down the system with him. It was kind of like, really, that's it? Like, that's what's going on here? Yeah, and it's one of those, I guess the biggest other thing is because, like, they don't do enough to justify this. Like, or they don't show enough is what I mean. In other words, I don't need a whole origin story of the Riddler. So trust me, I'm not trying to say I need to see his backstory and how he grew up and why he's evil or why he's crazy. No, but you're literally giving me no insight as to why he thinks everything's so evil and corrupt and wants to take down the system. He just literally says a couple times throughout like the film, it's like, like life was never fair to me. How do I fucking know that? Like,
yeah, exactly. So this is why I feel they should have, for how real and gritty this movie feels, they should have stuck the Riddler to be as real and as gritty. Why did he do it? Because like that would have gave me chills. I would have been like, yo, this dude's crazy.
Right. And that would have felt a bit like Jokerish, so I, if it was like a just because, but nonetheless, I know what you mean, right? It would have at least been a little bit more compelling than just like at least what it was, still interesting to watch, still cool with, the overall kind of outcome of like how it was, like the story, being able to see it play out. But nonetheless, that seems like maybe it's something they could have executed just a little bit better on. Like I said, I would have loved to, as an audience member, just not like literally not know what's going on, but have that unpredictability that you would expect with someone like the Riddler. Like maybe you think you know what's going on just for it to flip it on its head there. But yeah, to kind of go back to what Dan was saying, where all of a sudden you find out what's one of the biggest reveals. Hey, so Martha Wayne is actually a fucking nutcase. Okay.
Cool. And honestly, we're just kind of pointing out some things here that many people that are caught up in the hype don't want to point out. But right, to get back on that hype train, I did love the Riddler. He was, I think, probably my favorite character in the movie. I aside from what we were talking about, I did love the way that they did make him feel like a real life psychotic serial killer. And I love the way that Paul Dano was able to come off like such a creep. I loved it. That first shot of him when the mayor's on the phone watching TV and he just moves out of frame and he's behind him the whole time. Ooh, that was so. My theater was like, ooh, just wave, a whole wave across my auditorium of people going, ooh, because
so
that's the reaction that he had throughout the entire movie in my theater.
Yeah, he was very creepy. I actually agree. I think the Riddler might be my favorite character from the movie, and I just love Paul Dano's performance so much. Jace, do you have a section where we're going to get into the debate?
You're already prepared for it.
he pulls out a really long scroll. Are we in the section yet?
No, I just want to know, because then I won't bring up too much now. But it was
we're already I'm cool with this, like, just progressing nicely into it. I will say one thing that is a compliment, because in case anybody's trying to wonder what Dan's prefacing at, it very much, I just kind of I didn't have similar feelings. But please, I can't stress enough, I still very much like the Riddler. I really, really did. Like, the dude looked like what I would expect the Riddler to look like. It obviously, his costume was something I've never seen before, so I couldn't expect that, nor could I say that's what I thought it should be. But I will say it looked cool. Like, I'm down. You know, that whole costume was dope. I like how he even went as far as putting like saran wrap around himself to underneath the costume to not leave any DNA. Like, that was just really dedicated to understanding the character. Nonetheless, there are certain aspects of his performance, that's all, that I just felt like it made it kind of confusing as an audience member to know how serious to take him. But before that at least is mentioned, one thing that I actually respected and thought that was, like, right, a good part of the performance. John, you were talking about that first scene, right, where you see him in the mayor's house. And then actually they do this a couple of times. Do you guys notice? I really like the attention to detail here, that when he goes to deliver his killing blows, you can, like, you see his hesitation, not because I think he doesn't actually want to do it, but because he's not a trained killer. Yeah. Like, he's just a dude that's trying to, that's crazy and trying to do stuff. But I love that. I love that they paid so much attention where it's like, you see him like almost like like, shit, how do I do? And yep. It's really cool how there's a couple times that comes through and everything. But Dan, go ahead and start to dive into as far as whatever it is that, right, fire away with your Paul Dano speech.
Okay, so a couple things before. I love when he smiles at Batman when they get him, when they arrest him, and he puts him on the table and he smiles at Batman. That was so creepy. Mm-hmm. Also, I just watched Prisoners the other day, and Hugh Jackman says to Paul Dano, "Enough of your riddles," or something like that. I thought that was funny. Anyway, so when I first got out of this first screening, I was like, oh, Paul Dano's up there with Heath Ledger as the Joker. He's up there with him, if not better than him. I was saying all this stuff. And I was saying it to Jace, and then Jace and I were getting into a little tussle. And about that stuff, because Jace does not agree at all. And he called me a stupid idiot for thinking that. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa, man. Come on, get it right. He called you an effing idiot.
And then I saw it again before I rewatched The Dark Knight. And then I rewatched The Dark Knight, and I'm like, no, never mind. Heath Ledger is just like the greatest of all time almost, And I really love Heath Ledger's performance, but I also really love Paul Dano's performance still. I do think it's higher than Jace probably sees it as, close to Heath Ledger, but I don't think, it's not better. At least not to me, right now. But it was when I first saw it, I think, because it was just in my mind, like I just saw the movie. So I was like, the hype was real.
I'll say it live on camera because I wasn't entirely sure when I came out of the theater, but definitely Heath Ledger is the best Batman villain in my opinion. But number 2, and I mean strong concrete, number 2 is Paul Dano's Riddler. Riddler. There we go.
Yeah, I think that for me too. I would say that as well.
Yeah, and it's tough because, like, I wouldn't know who to put as an immediate second. I would like to kind of put some more thought into it. And, at least I can safely say this. I do think that, like, Paul's Riddler, especially given the fact that, look, the only other Riddler we have to compare to is Jim Carrey, and to try and compare those two, it would be fun, but it would also be very difficult because of how polarizingly different they are. So with that being said, I more so kind of go off of takes that I'm familiar with within, like, animated format or video games for that matter, like the Arkham series and everything. And there is an element of him that gives me heavy vibes of the Arkham video game Riddler. Not quite exactly there, but almost he seems like he could be a younger, more amateur version of the Riddler in the Arkham games. And for that, I definitely respect and appreciate his performance. I think that's really like kind of stand out for me. I couldn't help but notice this come through. Apologies as far as thank you guys so much for finding a way with the comments. Don't think that we're trying to just like not look into it. It's just getting deep into discussion here. But I saw as this was going on, I think Paul Dano was fantastic, but I'm not feeling that he rivaled Heath Ledger. No, sir. It will be a long time until someone rivals Heath. Whoa, the drama.
Oh.
No, but if anything, it just, I think that, you know, and Dan, I will say this, that don't get me wrong, man. Like, I was always, even at the very beginning, swear on my life, respect your opinion. You're too good of a buddy. And even if someone's not my buddy out there, you go ahead. You have your own opinion. If you think that Paul Dano is just the greatest thing since sliced bread, then my gosh, you're entitled to that. But trying to look at it from a very just like critiquing and logistical approach, right? Not so much of who do I just like more, but who actually like really kind of did better. And there's basically a couple things about Paul Dano's Riddler that I can't look past that make me feel conflicted on his take of this character. And this is all that it is, righty? So just think whatever it is that you want. This is just my take. I feel that there is a mixed bag of an approach to him on this character. Now, John was bringing up, and it's something that I can't disagree with, that you said that you feel like this kind of falls in line with what maybe a real-life serial killer could kind of act like. That is totally fair. They openly admit that they had a lot of influence from the Zodiac Killer for the Riddler in this movie. Okay. With that being said, there are times where he very much comes off like he is this, like, dark, like, cold, calculated, like scary manipulating of like, dude, based on how he's talking, everything, I don't know what's going to happen. And that's scary. That's something that leaves an intimidation factor. Like his first scenes, I felt that way. But then all of a sudden you get these moments sprinkled in where he just all of a sudden is like this goofy child that does not in any way, shape, or form mesh with what he had done otherwise. And here's the thing. To say, well, it's because he's crazy. I'm sorry. I feel like that's a piss poor excuse because even as a crazy person, there should be some form of like, I should be able to understand from an audience perspective, like, who is this character? Not who are you as a person and what's your background history and what's your date of birth and your social security number. I mean, like, who are you? Should I be scared of you? Should I laugh at you? Are you comedic relief or are you the bad guy? Are you a seriously intellectual madman? Or are you just someone that happens to have a fucking social media following? So you get all hyped up and, bent out of shape because of something. And you feel like now I've got the right resources to make this happen. So you know what? Let's blow up the fucking city. It's just weird. And I can't help but have that feeling of like, I don't know how seriously to take him.
Yeah, Jace, I think I know the moments. Well, first of all, like there's times when he almost reminds me of the Mandalorian in the Mandarin in
it's like
the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. He's like goofy. Like there's the Riddler almost wanted to take a selfie with someone, and like it was just weird, like stuff with technology, and as if he was one of us. Like, oh, follow, make sure you like and subscribe, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then another part when we first see his mask off, or when the prison, the prison scene when he's in his cell, I was like, okay, this guy looks too goofy to be intimidating. But then you remember what he was before. And then when he started talking, he was like, yeah, he's crazy. And I agree with John. Like, he definitely gave me like, real serial killer vibes. And I know that they, based him off that. But yeah, when you first, because Paul Dano's appearance is not that intimidating. And but then when he starts talking and singing Ave Maria, at least for me, that worked.
That did not work for me.
Singing Ave Maria, it was random. Like they used that in the score of the whole movie, and I'm like, does that have anything to do with his character? But it worked for me still. Him singing it, it's just creepy.
I will respectfully disagree with the both of you. I thought his moments worked perfectly. I thought they were yin yang moments, but they were all in the same spirit of what he was trying to do with the character. Now, I don't expect everybody to be true crime fans. Not everybody's into it. I'm into it though. And so now for 2 minutes, this is going to become a true crime live stream because I'm going to tell you straight up that of how can he be this and then he's this is literally what so many infamous serial killers have done throughout history. Oh, he's so menacing in one scene where you're like, whoa, stand back. But then he's kind of goofy and he's singing Ave Maria and kind of wimpy. Dude, that is literally the history of murderers. They want to be these big macho men. They write into newspapers. They write into news stations and, oh, I'm the whatever killer, the Night Stalker, and this, that, and the other. And they're like, whoa, big guy. Then they get caught. And they're like, that it's real life. And that's why I find it worked for me because that's what really happens. Now, I respect your opinion, of course.
No,
and at least that's a very fair counterpoint. Like, I'll put it this way: there's nothing I could say that would be like, well, that's bullshit. Like, it's just a fair thing to kind of say backwards. So, trying to look at it from that more realistic approach. Yeah, maybe it's just because I don't have as deep of an understanding or appreciation for like how it could really be. And I'm totally willing to admit that maybe if I did have a better understanding of that I might be able to kind of look at this performance in a different light. So yeah, just with that being said, I'm happy at least about this, even with my gripes about the performance. At no point was I just like, well, this guy fucking sucks. Like, how did they pick him? No, I thought actually, to speak on the whole physically intimidating factor, I'm actually glad that he doesn't look intimidating. I'm glad he looks the way he does. I don't picture Riddler to be a physically intimidating person. The part with intimidation, I guess, was just like personality traits. I couldn't tell if it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, are you actually scary or you just kind of a goofball that happens to throw on a mask and act like you're scary every now and again? But nonetheless, yeah, it seems like maybe got some good explanation there. Maybe all of us need to go home and do some research on true crime history.
Yes, do it. Listen to podcasts. They're so fun.
Also, I mean, the Riddler even says, I'm not, my strengths aren't in physicality or something. They're up here. And so that I understood. And no, I'm on John's side more because I know some true crime. I don't know as much as John, I don't think. But I was really like into serial killers. So I watched like the true crime on serial killers and stuff like that. But yeah, no, so I just noticed those moments where he was being a little goofy. But yeah, no, I get it. It worked for me. I didn't have a problem with it or anything.
Yeah. But we digress because there was way more than the Riddler going on in this particular movie. So even though that was a very large chunk of what I wanted to discuss here, there's another performance that, dare I say, is even more polarizing that maybe we can go ahead and start to make the jump to here. And part of me didn't even really want to bother with banners too much or anything, but this one I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, throw it up. Guys, if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to know anything, I don't know why you're watching this in the first place. I mean, thank you, I guess, but right, you should totally not be checking this out. But this is even more the moment. Like, get the fuck out of here if you don't want to know something that you shouldn't know. With that being said.
Oh, what? I didn't know what you were talking about for a second.
Man, what the fuck? I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not even going to say anything first, or this is going to take a really funny turn. So I'm going to go ahead and give the honors to, you know what, John, you started off because I know for a fact you feel much more positively about this than I do.
And that's as far as it goes. I just feel positive about it because we didn't get much. We didn't get much. It was a 45-second scene where it's just like this area, because you kind of saw his smile.
Yeah.
So maybe like this, and that's it. And it's very dark, and he says a couple lines. He laughs with the Riddler, and that's it. So I feel okay. I feel like it's promising. It's promising. You just got to see where it goes from here. But even Force Awakens was promising, and that was shit in the end, you know? But it's promising nonetheless right now. I have a bit more faith in Warner Brothers and their standalone Batman films right now. So Barry Keoghan? Is it Keegan? I think
I don't know if it was Keegan or Keoghan or...
I call him Keegan.
I'll say Keegan. Barry Keegan, not my first pick. Not my first pick. But I always go back to Jace's favorite of all time, Heath Ledger. Not people's first pick. You never know, Jace. You never know. I do kind of like how they're kind of keeping it a little bit realistic, and he looks kind of deformed. So maybe we'll find out in the next movie, like that, if it kind of follows the comic route of him falling into that vat, and then it'll be realistic that vat doesn't just make your skin smooth and white. It might make it white, it might make your smile red, but it's going to deform you nonetheless. And he looks very realistically deformed, and I think that is what would really happen to a Joker in our real world. So I like that, and it's not my favorite laugh, but it was okay. We'll see what happens with the laugh, and that's all I can say. Off to you, Dan.
So I think I'm in the middle of you guys, but leaning more towards John just because Jace is so extreme about it. Yeah, I thought he was fine, but I wasn't like, I didn't care. I was hoping I would go into it because I was expecting Joker was probably going to be teased or something. I was like, oh, I'm going to be so amazed when Joker shows up, and it just happened. And Barry Keoghan would not have been my first choice. I thought he was fine as Druig, right? Or whoever in Eternals. I didn't love that movie, but I thought he was fine. I thought the cast was fine. But he would not have been my first pick. I wouldn't have even thought of him really in the role. But the laugh to me, especially his first laugh, was lame as heck and bad, to be honest. To me, I thought the Riddler laughed better than him. And then when they laughed together, it was fine, but you really hurt the Riddlers, I think, the most. But yeah, so I'm kind of trying to keep my hopes up, not hopes up, but like how John was saying, like no one wanted Heath Ledger, no one thought he was going to be good, and then he turned out to be good. Just what we've seen so far from Barry Keoghan, I haven't been that impressed. Plus, I wish they didn't even have a scene to tease the future. So I wish they didn't even feel the need to tease anything in the future. And that almost seemed like it was in a contract or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Now, Jace, I do have work tomorrow, so don't go on for hours.
All right, I'll keep it down. So, I can't sugarcoat this. Obviously, if you can't tell from the reactions that have been given from my buddies here leading up to this, I was not down for this take it at all. I don't know how else to put it. I can't say it nicely. I didn't appreciate what was brought in that scene whatsoever. When you are introducing a character as large and iconic as the Joker, and especially when he's already been introduced in live action so many fucking times within a short time frame, right? That doesn't happen with villains a lot. You need to give a standout, stellar performance. I'm sorry. This is one of those things where it's not the person. I don't hold it against Barry. That's what the role has become over time. If you can't deliver something like that, then be prepared to get shit on. Jared Leto's a perfect example, right? And I know that there's even some people who would go as far as defending him, whatever, though, right? That's not the point. With this, I felt more hyped and chills when I saw the Joker card at the end of Batman Begins than I did with this entire scene.
Me too.
And it's really a shame because, with Heath Ledger, that's something that it's tough. You hold it against him. Why? Because you haven't seen what he looks like at all. You haven't heard what he's going to sound like at all. There's nothing to go off of other than I don't think that's a good casting choice. And thankfully, we were proven wrong. With this, it's just such a shame that it's no, here you go. Here's a slight preview. This is what he sounds like. This is what he laughs like. Here's a very, very hard to make out glimpse of what he looks like. And I was not down for any of it. The only thing I thought kind of looked cool, John, you're talking about with the face, and I do appreciate, Ray, you mentioned that maybe it's a more deformed look than that smooth look we usually get. The only thing I could try to guess from what I saw, there's absolutely a comic storyline where the Joker is weird as he cut his own face off and sewed it back on. And so I thought maybe that was like what they were doing, because it almost looked like the smile was like the way he sewed it and stuff.
Kinda.
So, you know, obviously could definitely not be the case, but yeah, you know, I just everything felt so washed down to me. Like when he was speaking, you to me, you should be able to feel like you know who that is right away. And I couldn't tell who it was until all of a sudden he said, you know, sometimes you do this and you know, you're looked at it like whatever. And then sometimes you're looked at like a clown. And all of a sudden I'm like, well, you didn't just say that fucking word for nothing, right? Like that's a clear giveaway as to what's going on here. And that was like, oh no, like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then all of a sudden he kept talking more and more. And then they showed him for that brief moment. And I'm like, oh, fuck, seriously? And then again, the laugh, which please don't let my opinion change yours. But from someone who can easily say that the Joker is my favorite character of anything ever, that was the most absurdly, like, piss poor. I've kind of said to you guys, like, washed down B grade dollar store version attempt of a Joker laugh. Like, I feel like that's the type where you'd go grab a knockoff toy at a store and then you'd like push it and it would laugh. Like, that's the laugh you'd hear from that toy.
Yeah.
It was, and it just literally surprised me that they managed to decide to cast him if that's what he was able to bring to the table. Like, I don't understand how on set that Matt Reeves didn't stop and just be like, hey, Barry, come here for a quick sec. All right, bud. So you remember who the fuck you're playing, right? Okay. I just want to make sure we got that clear. So let's go out there again and like, let's maybe do that, right? Let's actually be the character. Because I don't know, man. And I'm willing to say this. I've said it to you guys. Look, if in the future it ends up being something that's good and it's you know, executed really well, or it evolves and gets better, then shit, man, I'm going to be happier than literally all of you combined. But I don't have any hope or positive feelings that is going to take that turn. And, you know, it's weird because I'm down for Joker like at almost any point in turn, but based especially on that now, I almost have this weird feeling of like, I don't even want him to be in the sequel. Like, I honestly hope to God that neither the Riddler nor the Joker, and it's not because I don't want to see more of the Riddler, but now it's just like, dude, push it off. Let them be working on something in the background. Bring them back for the third one, if anything. But like, I don't even want to see that right away.
I wonder if that's what they're gonna do. If they're kind of gonna build the Joker to be a Thanos-like character for the Batman.
Or Eric has said this, and I kind of like this. So, or at least for now, so the Riddler would be a Scarecrow-like person in the Dark Knight trilogy. How he's in every movie, but he's not that important. So maybe like the next one, the Joker and him will kind of be like Scarecrow. Like they'll show up, but they won't really be important in the next one.
And that's fine. You know, that could work out. I just think that's a shame because, you know, the Joker doesn't feel like he deserves to be a background villain for a lot of stuff. I think there's times where there are stories where he doesn't need to be the main villain and it actually works just fine. But that would really be a shame to be like, so this is the first time we're seeing this Joker in full and he's just a fucking background dude. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? It's, I don't know. And also, I think, honestly, people would be fine if you just let it be. Because we've got, within the past couple of years, right? I mean, you want to take this and we can expand a little bit back as far as to 2008. So that's taking it back quite a ways. But you got Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, Jared Leto. And that's just the live action ones. And that's not counting what they've done. There's like the Batwoman, or not Batwoman, I'm sorry. Or no, it is. There's a Batwoman TV series, which I don't recommend it whatsoever, but there's like a guy who is the Joker of the Batwoman series. And so my point is there are so many takes on this character on a consistent level that as much as I like it because I'm a fan of the character, I could easily see, and I hear it from other people that are like, give us someone else for fuck's sake. Like, Batman has one of the best and largest rogue galleries aside from Spider-Man that is like well-known established villains. You're going to tell me you can't think of grabbing anybody else? Dude, what about as far as they kind of hinted at Thomas Elliott in this movie, who's basically Bruce Wayne's like really good childhood friend that grows up to be a serial killer that steals, like he does surgery to make it look like he is Bruce Wayne and tries to steal his identity and stuff like that.
There were some Easter eggs too to Hush when I think one of the coding said Hush or something like that.
Exactly. That's Thomas Elliott, right? And then so like you got that, you got Victor Zsasz. As far as like more like grounded villains and everything, you could easily like this universe felt like a live action Arkham video game series, so I could easily picture them throwing some fantasy elements in. Dude, what about like fucking Clayface, right? Where how cool it'd be to just have someone that can morph into anybody and have that be something to be as opposing to Batman, not just strictly a physicality thing. I don't know. I can keep it. Mr. Freeze, I think honestly a cool grounded take on Mr. Freeze and how he has one of the it's like the most overtold story for his villain, but it's got one of the most compelling and emotional stories for a villain that could be thrown into here. And it's a great way to show us to like not everybody is batshit crazy because he's just trying to save his fucking wife. So I don't know, man. There's like so much stuff that I think that could really go better than just kind of doing another Joker. And that's maybe I had this up. All right, so maybe this is a good transition to pop over to there. It's pretty set that there's going to be a sequel. Do you guys feel like there's anything in particular, more than anything else, that you want to see out of the sequel?
Oh, yes. A better Bruce Wayne.
Okay, that's fair.
I want to see a Bruce Wayne that after the end of the Batman has kind of, not that he's had a load taken off his shoulders because he's Batman. That's who he is. He's Batman. Bruce Wayne is the alter ego. But let's see that alter ego. Let's not just see Batman without a costume.
Yeah, I agree, right? To give it like where it actually you feel like it is a different person. Because otherwise, we were making this joke in our group chat. And, as far as everybody watching this, I'm sure that you'd be able to agree. If you're a character in this particular universe, I'm not trying to say that you're like on the lookout for people who are like, hey, is anyone trying to be another person? But we mentioned about like the Iceberg Lounge and Batman shows up in one scene. He's like, you know who I am, right? And then the guy's like, yeah. And then literally it's either the next day or a few days later that it's hard to tell. But the point is it's not that long later. And he goes back as Bruce Wayne. You know who I am? And it's like, dude, you're saying it in the same way to the same guy. And look, does he probably see a lot of people? He's the fucking door guy. Yeah, he probably sees a lot of people. But don't you think it would just be a little bit of like a, hey, wait a second.
Wait a minute. So while I do want a better Bruce Wayne, I want the Batman to stay the same because we haven't really touched in as much as I wanted to, guys. But the Batman, wow. I'm telling you, that opening sequence of Gotham City when the bat signal goes out and the narration of Bruce Wayne talking about, they fear me like when they see the signal and you see everybody looking up and they're like, oh, shit. And they're like a dark alleyway, a dark hallway. And they're like, is he there? He could be looming. You never know when. And then out of one of the alleyways, he does pop up. You're like, man, wow. And while he's popping out, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, that music.
Boom. Oh, dude, the Batman. 2 thumbs up from me.
Dan, what do you think as far as biggest wish for the sequel over here?
So I don't know. I'm kind of with you guys. I'm fine with a new villain, but I don't know if they would do a new villain in the next one. But like a villain we have not seen in live action before. But at the same time, I know those villains, so I want to see them, So like Harley Quinn, the Scarecrow, because I know them from other iterations, I want to see them here. So that's kind of where I'm at. But at the same time, he has such a big rogue gallery that they could choose from anyone and they can make really most of their villains, realistic, But Harley, that's kind of something I would have rather them if they were not have this Joker. Like at the end, maybe Harley Quinn, like as a doctor, walks up or something, and gives because I would love to see. I want to see a Harley Quinn origin story of her going crazy, all that stuff. I actually want to see that, and we haven't really yet in live action.
I have one thing, but I'm not gonna say it just in case you say it, Jace. But if you don't, I'll say it. So go ahead, Jace.
Okay, for sure. I feel like at the moment that it's tough to say like a biggest wish. Even when I was making this banner, I was like, damn, that's pretty broad. How am I going to just label it down to one thing? So there's like a number of things. I would very much echo what John's saying about, better Bruce Wayne. I think, we made that pretty clear from earlier on that, look, I'm just hoping that I could look at this in retrospect and realize, okay, Okay, that's cool to see him evolve over time. I think honestly, my biggest wish would be to get a different villain. Like, and I know this is funny because it's almost like the opposite of Dan, what you were saying there, but it's not because I disagree. I very much am in line with what you're saying too. It's cool because now that you've seen such a different take on this world, the setting, now all of a sudden it's like, well, hey, I've seen Harley Quinn right over here. I wonder what Harley Quinn would be like in here. And that's exactly how I felt like with the Joker, honestly. That's why I was excited at the prospect of him and everything. But with that being said, I also feel like this is a great opportunity to introduce stuff that we haven't been introduced to before. And there's been some rumors, so I'm not going to take credit for this like I came up with the idea, but I have heard some speculation that the Court of Owls is supposedly going to be the main antagonist group within the sequel. And honestly, man, I'm all for it if that's what they were to go and do. If anyone's not insanely familiar, I'm not going to give like a full backstory, and I probably couldn't even explain it as well as it really needs to be. But the Court of Owls is like the hierarchy of, you know, Gotham's like richest, most corrupt people that like they run like this underground society government type of thing, you know? And based on the corruption that was, you know, unveiled in this movie by the Riddler, and the Batman having to indirectly get involved because of that, right? Like he didn't go searching that out, but now he's involved because I'm trying to clean up this fucking mess that this guy made. It almost does seem like a perfect setup / transition to have the Court of Owls come in now and you know, Batman like be forced again, like how he was forced to deal stuff with the Riddler. Another situation where he's just utterly forced to get involved because of the circumstances, and that they'd really be able to kind of put him through the ringer as Batman and as Bruce. Because again, what's their deal? They're like the highest, most powerful, richest people in Gotham. So, you know, that's something that also could maybe start to flesh out even more of what they were talking about with the Waynes and their history within this and everything. So I think that would be really cool as far as, you know, sequel. I mean, they can't include anyone else. I actually hope they keep having bits and pieces of his rogue gallery be sprinkled in, like how Penguin just popped up a little bit here. But yeah, maybe Court of Owls is the main group for next time around would be really, really dope.
I'd like to see a Court of Owls as well, Jace. Kind of an Illuminati of Gotham City, explaining why Gotham City is so shitty. Mm-hmm. It's because they allow it to be that bad. Maybe going in depth as to they could have stopped the Riddler, but if anything, they're the reason why he was able to do everything he did, because they kind of just went like this. Mm-hmm. And explaining with even the other villains that we may see, it's kind of just them going like this, like, we're just going to let it happen. And they're the most influential people in the city as is. That could be a really well-told story throughout a trilogy, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, what I was going to say wasn't Court of Owls, though, but on a smaller note, I would love to see, because of how realistic this all is, Robin. I'd love to see Robin, and not grown up 27-year-old Robin. I want to see like little boy, little kid Robin, and kind of dealing with the aspect of, this is kind of messed up, Bruce. Like you're teaching this kid that what you're doing is okay for his little boy mind, and kind of dealing with that a little bit. So I'd like to see Robin for that specifically.
Well, dude, yes. Like so fucking much. Yes, John, that was like probably, that's way better. That fuck my wish. That's so much better, right? Like, because seriously, man, one of the most underutilized elements of all of Batman movies is Robin. I don't understand why they just let that sit to the side. Dude, the story elements of Dick Grayson, right, being the first Robin, growing up, and then eventually leaving Bruce, right, having conflicting emotions on you know, morals and how to go about things and the way to act about situations, to the point where he leaves and changes his hero name, becomes something else, goes to a different town, and then leading that into Jason Todd and the death of Jason Todd. Bro, those are some of the most impactful and big story elements in like all of Batman. And to just kind of feel this odd desire to like stray away from that and always need to do something else because no, we need to focus on him, that you're not taking the focus away from him. You're giving us a chance to appreciate him as a character more by giving us those different sides of it. So, dude, I'm so on the same page with that. And personally, you make me think, I know this is a stretch because I don't really think they really hinted too much, but you notice how there's that one kid that Bruce keeps like noticing in the movie?
Yes.
Right?
It's the mayor. Wasn't it the mayor's son?
Yeah.
What if that's like their version of or iteration of Robin here?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Like maybe he takes his mom's name. His mom's name is Grayson, and his name is Richard. We don't know. It could be that.
Right, exactly. I mean, that almost seemed like it was a little too on the nose. You know what I mean? The fact that he like it did so many different occasions would, just kind of like made an effort to like make eye contact with the kid, or that they kept showing.
Man. And it could go on to a sequel or to other films of him thinking about that kid, saying, this kid is going through what I'm going through. I want to take him under my wing so he doesn't make my mistakes. And little does Bruce know that he's just molding him into him.
Yeah, 100%. There's so much good that can come out of that dynamic between those two. And that'll just make everything else better, honestly. Because it doesn't mean you have to not focus on other shit just because you have that as a central point of the story. But it's a huge, great story. I love that. I'll put it this way, guys. If you want, there's basically just, we've been doing a great job of basically just ignoring a lot of the comments throughout some of this. Apologies. And I'm not, I hope it's understood here. It's not like I'm going to start from the top and try and fire through everything. However, there were at least just like a couple things that, I thought maybe as a way to as a tail end here. You guys down to answer maybe a couple questions?
Yeah, dude, I want to answer all of them. Let's go.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that's you know me. I probably would have said that first. I just don't want to assume anything. Like, no, Jason, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. All right, let's see. Bear with me. I'm going to kind of go back here and just fly around because there is I saw a bunch coming through as we were going through this here. So when we were talking about the Riddler, I believe, Joe, first of all,
Joe,
what's up, Joe? I think I actually saw the whole entire other half of the squad pop in. Sean was popping in at one point. Anthony popped in to say what's up at one point. So we miss you guys.
Yeah, man. Got half of the squad here.
Cough, cough, shooting the shit season 2. Cough, cough.
You never know.
You never know. I mean, that's talking like it's a thing that might not happen.
You just got to keep them on their toes, Chase,
This is true. But let's see, what's Joe saying here? The goofy child side of him is very, in my opinion, what he's like in the comics and games. Very sadistic and also very childish at his core. So for me, I was happy with his performance, but I love the Penguin. So Joe, this is a 100% fair point. And I'm guessing you guys could probably be in line with this since you already, were echoing similar sentiments here. And that's not incorrect. So even me who is saying, oh, I don't know, he could be like too goofy sometimes. Joe's 100% right, man. Like, there's a part with the Riddler remember the part he finds out that Batman's like not his friend when he thought he was this whole time?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie. When I first watched that scene, I sat there and I was like, dude, like, oh my gosh, you're being like, now I really can't take you seriously. You're a fucking baby. But in retrospect, as it kind of sank in a little bit more, and this is something that, right, this is why I think it's tough when you have an initial reaction versus I've let it sit for a little bit reaction, because I had a very similar thought process of, you know what, man, although maybe I could try to nitpick certain things there, that does seem very much like what he does. When he doesn't get his way, he becomes very childish. So, I can't disagree with it. And if anything, you know what, guys, maybe all this talk is something that makes me appreciate him more and more, right? Maybe I needed something like this to give me some more respect for these performances brought into play here. Let's see, moving on forward. I think this was that Eric was trying to give just a total, right, that like top villains. I think we were going back and forth between like Paul Dano's Riddler, Heath Ledger's Joker, right? So not counting Catwoman as a villain, he says his top Batman movie villains are Joker from The Dark Knight. Bane is a second. Be kind of curious as far as what you guys thought is there. Two-Face, I do think that's a good choice. I mean, that's something where I think Two-Face actually doesn't get enough love from The Dark Knight. Ra's al Ghul from Batman Begins, Penguin from the Batman, and Riddler from the Batman. All right, so definitely Dark Knight trilogy and this new one taking the lead here.
He has a second list too, like that continues a little bit down.
It does indeed. You are right. Because we got Scarecrow from Batman Begins, Talia al Ghul from, oh my gosh. I don't know if she deserves to be on this list. What the fuck? I mean, that is, of course, with all love and respect, Eric. It's more so I just didn't actually think she was like a successful villain in that movie. Joker, as far as from Batman 89, Poison Ivy from Batman. Actually, yeah, she's not that bad of a villain. And yeah, come at me on that last one. There's my top 10 Batman movie villains.
Yeah. I would put go higher, but yeah.
Not to make your own list, because that would probably be tough on the spot. But what do you guys think? Especially, again, like the Bane part. And I don't say that because I dislike Tom Hardy's Bane. That's not it at all. But would you put him that high?
Nah, dude. Bane wouldn't be that high for me. And hot take. You ready for this hot take? I'm not a fan of Nicholson's Joker. You guys know that. I think I've talked to you in the private chat before. I'm not a fan of Nicholson's Joker. I saw the movie in December for the first time. And not only did I just liked the movie, Nicholson's Joker wasn't it for me.
He's very much just an exaggerated Jack Nicholson, and I mean, like, that's saying something. He's a very charismatic dude, but yeah, you know, I hear you.
To me, he was a better Joker in The Shining. You know, that was
yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
Damn, that's a hell of a comment there. I mean, that's actually a pretty good way to analyze it too. Yeah, he does have more traits of that in that movie. And you know, as far as I get, they're so different. So please, it's like when we were talking about Jim Carrey's Riddler to Paul Dano's Riddler. It's like it's tough. It'd be fun, but it's tough to compare them. Dude, but just as far as like Joker, I think Cesar Romero did a better job than Jack Nicholson.
I don't think I could argue with you. I wouldn't argue with you, Jace.
He's from the Batman show.
Yeah, like the Adam West Batman show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
and it's just, of course, it's such a he's just goofy as shit, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, but he kind of nails it though. Like it really works for that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think, nonetheless, Eric, I appreciate the list, man. And I think that that's a well put together one, even if there are some ones that we could maybe have some different feelings on. Schofield Studios, thank you for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Look like he's got a couple of Jokers starting his off. So Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, Scarecrow, I'm guessing as far as Cillian Murphy's, the Riddler. Does it say the Riddler 22?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Why that took a second to click for me is fucking beyond me. And then I don't know why. I think I was looking at the numbers of like who he was putting, and then it just didn't click right away. And then Bane 12, the 12th Bane. No, Bane from Dark Knight Rises. Okay. So we got Bane high up. I do really like Tom Hardy's Bane.
Hold on. Talking about Bane, was that Venom that Batman put in himself? Because people are like, oh, that was just adrenaline. But it could be Venom.
Yo, dude, no. I'm so right there with you, John. Like, I don't know how anyone could try to. I get it that you don't want to confirm anything till you know, but like, they didn't do that for no reason.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and it was like yellow too.
That's what I'm saying, right? It was like that yellowish green, like that line. You know that was totally leading up to something, which I think is pretty nuts because I'm not familiar with any story of Bane where he got his venom from Batman.
You never know. Hey, man, Dave Bautista is probably going to be leaving Guardians of the Galaxy soon.
Oh, that's a for sure. He is. Yeah, this last one is he's done. He's
Dude,
done.
I want to see Dave Bautista as Bane.
Oh my God. But now here's the thing though. I have this conflicting emotion because like, I don't know if they should just do it with the way that they did like Chris Evans when he was the skinny Steve Rogers, because dude, I want to see a Bane that is like a regular ass looking dude who uses the venom and actually like fucking hulks out.
Ooh, okay.
Because that's what he usually is. Like that's in a lot of animated formats and a lot of cartoon or comics. Like that's how it really is. He's not big and bulking 24/7. He does something to basically flip the venom on and then just.
Huh.
Guys, I just, that took me a minute because I was like, Venom is from MCU. How?
Yes.
Yo, Multiverse of Madness messing up all universes.
And I do not remember Bane in The Dark Knight Rises much, I guess, because I don't remember him using Venom or anything.
Did he?
I haven't seen.
Oh, it was going through his mask.
So yeah, in The Dark Knight Rises, he doesn't more so use Venom as a weapon to make him stronger. He needs it to survive. Like that's that his breathing apparatus, and it's like giving him stuff so he can keep living or whatever. I bet there was something about it where he more so needed it as opposed to used it to gain the advantage there. But yeah, man, I actually think that would be really cool. I would love to see like introduce Bane, make it's something where somehow maybe it's like left after a scene of the crime, like maybe Batman uses it one time and he leaves the canister or whatever, the capsule that has it. And then fucking all of a sudden, whoever is Bane, like, happens to get his hands on it, wants to get more of it, knows that it's Batman's, somehow does, like, some finagling to get it from Batman, I don't know how this would work, but right, gets to a point where he can kind of, like, mass produce it, at least for himself.
Yes, bro, Court of Owls, help him.
Yeah, actually, dude, that would be, oh my God. So, Court of Owls' main muscle is the Talon. And, right, so that's just, for lack of better terms, I'm not even going to go into more detail. It's the Talon, right? And he's a character that is like their go-to bodyguard. That would be, John, that'd be so dope if they made it so that like, hey, you know what? We got to take care of this Batman issue. And you seem like you have the right attitude and, guts about you to do this. So you know what? We're going to steal this shit from Bruce Wayne. Or not Bruce Wayne, from Batman, right? Because we want to fuck him over, but we do also want to screw over Bruce Wayne. And we're going to give this to you. We have all the resources and tools and money to get you more of it. So there you go. Oh my God.
Dude.
Yo, are we just writing the Batman sequel right now?
Hell yeah.
Too bad, too furious.
Oh my God.
The Batman Gotham Drift.
Oh my God. Gotham Drift.
The fate of the vengeful.
Oh, dude. And then if they did that, then it would have to be Batman in the Batmobile cruising around, and there's got to be some line about family.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Stop. Let's continue.
So while I was on this enormous Joker rant, it seems as though Joe was respecting my opinion, but he loved that little scene. He felt a little more psychotic version who's going to mind fuck everyone. I personally liked it. And once again, that's great. Like, I truly do mean this, that no matter what the hell it is that I say, I mean, I hope that this is interesting to listen to, but I never mean to throw out an opinion of like, you're fucking wrong if you don't think this way, and you should totally, like, when you hear me and you hear my reasoning, like, that if that doesn't convince you, then you're a fucking idiot. Like, it's none of that. It's just like, this is how I feel about this.
Sound like a Kyle, like you had a Monster Energy drink.
Yeah, bro. Dude, there's a skit that you made me think of. Fuck, what's his name? Think Trevor Wallace, I'm pretty sure. Where it's there's Bang energy drink. And it's a whole skit about what like someone who's drank a Bang once, and oh my God, it's very much what we were doing on a higher up skill level there. Yeah, man, fuck you. You don't like my opinion, bro? Hey, man. What you think I'm not right about this, bro? What you think? You think I don't know what I'm talking about, man? Joker's my favorite character of anything, bro. You don't even know.
This part's going on Instagram.
Yo, actually, you have to. So, John, I'm just going to take a moment to bring it up here as I'm looking for the next sound and everything. You got to teach me how to clip stuff. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, we're gonna do it right now while everybody's watching.
Yeah. Everybody want to find out how to clip things on the YouTube? Ooh. Well, I mean, I don't think this would ever happen, but this was an interesting one as I was flipping on through. Like, even if it's not the same universe, but can we just have Joaquin play a new version of the Joker?
No. Let Joaquin be his version. Continue that universe.
Yeah, and honestly, like, that's even something in itself that I brought up before. I have very mixed emotions on them even making another one, and that's not because people immediately think, "Oh, what, you didn't like it?" Oh, wait. What, you didn't like it, man? You thought it was stupid? What, because you think your opinion's the fucking best thing ever?
Yo, you need, this needs to be a new character. He's Dude Bro's best friend. This
Oh my god. Yeah, dude, that'd be great. And just dude bro's like, I don't even know, man. I wanted to go see this movie, but dude didn't even invite me. Well, what the fuck, man? You really think like that matters? Like you're the coolest dude in the world or something? Like we should just be inviting you to everything?
And like it should be spelled like Kiel. Kyle, like Kyle.
Kiel.
And then Dubro's like, bro, you spelled your name wrong. No, I didn't, man.
What, you think I don't know how to spell my own fucking name, bro? Oh my god, this is great. This is great.
We're writing skits, we're writing movies. Guys, pay us.
We will take our money. We'll take form in either PayPal or Bitcoin. Thank you. I don't have a PayPal, so I don't know why I said that. Let's see here. I think to judge on a woman that I just happened to notice Joe threw in a continuation from his Joker comment there. I think to judge on a 1 minute scene isn't enough. I think he'll have a variation of different laughs to imply what's going on in his mind. Oh. That laugh sounded to me like he's dead inside.
Ooh, I like that, Joe. A different laugh for what's going on in his mind. Remember, Heath Ledger didn't have a traditional Joker laugh either. His most famous Joker laugh is the one where he's like, he, ha. Ha, 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 ha. And that's not a Joker laugh, but people love Ledger's laugh because it's so narcissistic in a way. And so different laughs to imply what's going on in his mind. Joe, that's awesome. I hope that's what they do.
I like that idea a lot.
I do think that actually Heath even gave a smidgen of that because, like, right, he does when he's trying to be that intimidating, set the awkward tone. He does the laugh you were talking about, but then there's like the interrogation scene where Batman's
that's
him in
true.
the face, and it's just that this like more classic one you would expect.
That's true.
And honestly, I think this stems back from like one of the people who I thought explained this the best is like Mark Hamill, who is hands down just the greatest Joker ever. Is explain like when he was coming up with it and thought the same thing. He's like, I really feel like he should have like his emotions or his laugh should have emotions, and that he like wanted to really use like all of the he's hoo ho ho ha ha ha, but like to go with different like depending on what was actually feeling. So like he has the wildish, outlandish, like the big boisterous laughs, but then there's that also like the like menacing of like I just realized something, like that stumbling upon evil laugh. I don't know. So I respect that.
I like
and the
it.
whole, I put it this way, although it should not have been the first laugh for them to show, if it is because he has that like dead inside feeling, it's probably the only logical excuse or reasonable excuse I would be willing to deal with. So
okay. What about the Joker that kidnapped you during our Halloween special?
Yo, that guy's the shit. He can come back by and kidnap me whenever he wants. Dude made it seem like it was so bad. I was scared out of my fucking mind, but I mean, he's a pretty good host, man.
Yeah,
not bad.
Was.
I just got a chance to chill out and listen to you guys live stream. So and he didn't do it too bad. Ooh, yeah, exactly. It was just a little bit of this, a little bit of the rag in the mouth and stuff. But I mean, it's all good. It's all good. Dude, this is one that I even forgot to mention when I was rattling off all the different villains that would be so dope for this universe that they've created. Hugo Strange.
I don't know much about Hugo Strange.
Oh man, it's not like he's really he's the perfect definition of like a mental villain. He there's nothing about his physicality that would be at all intimidating. So kind of like, with Riddler, but he's also like an older, more grizzled, experienced like psychiatrist. And so he just really knows how to like perfectly fuck with you. And especially with your mind and the way you think and look at things. So yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be really, really cool to have him be someone else that's also pulling the strings or something.
Nice.
Still probably I'd lean towards Court of Owls overall, but Joe, damn, that is a really good one as far as who would fit within this universe here. I'm trying to think as far as other people now too, because now all of a sudden that you brought that up, I'm like, damn, I must be missing out on like a whole bunch of people that'd be really fitting and good for this. Mad Hatter is someone that I actually think would be pretty easy to squeeze into this setting of a universe. So yeah,
there's a bunch for sure.
So I wish we didn't really talk about him, but John Turturro is Falcone. I wish he didn't die because I really liked him. I thought he did a good performance, and I would have liked to see kind of more, of that.
I liked it as well, Dan. But he had to die for Pink to rise into power, so I'm okay with it.
Which I prefer that. Yeah, so I prefer Pink. But no, Eric is saying in the comments, did I think of Benedict Cumberbatch when he said Hugo Strange? No, I did not. It's Doctor Strange. I was not thinking of Doctor Strange.
Buttermilk pancakes?
Oh gosh, that's great. Just anything that's a MCU reference is just wait a second.
I love the people that mess up Benedict Cumberbatch's name, and that was when I saw. I was like, "Who's Buttermilk Pancakes?"
Okay, because when you just said it, I was like, maybe there's a comment I missed or something. But that's hilarious. Oh my god, Buttermilk Pancakes. Schofield basically throwing out that he thinks kind of something I was echoing earlier. So since we have so many other villains to choose from, why bring Joker back? He's saying Joker 2, which is obviously complete speculation at this point. Flashpoint, which to my understanding, I've heard no confirmation that Joker is actually supposed to be in there. And now the Batman 2 will have Joker. Again, speculatory, but I think they are trying to hint towards that. Nonetheless, man, even if it may be an if for almost all those, it's the same point of what we were saying before, what I was specifically trying to point out. I love the Joker, and I'll take him in any fashion you want to give him to me in, just about, right? I'll take a heavy-hand dose of them as much as you can, just like with Batman. Like, I'm not sick of Batman movies, even though there's been a bunch of them. But I am cool with, like, respecting other people's, desires to see other villains get some spotlight.
I would like to see, Jason, I was talking about this the other day, but, like, because I watched The Killing Joke, I want a Joker that's just like that versus the Batman. I don't know. I think that'd be really cool.
Definitely, man. But, definitely.
Yeah, no, I do agree. Like, bringing back new villains or bringing in new villains would be also cool.
Well, at least when you got so many. If it was one where it's like, shit, it's, I don't know, it's someone that's a little bit more obscure with their villains, where it's like, all right, who else could we really pick? Well, then maybe get another iconic person to come back. But yeah. Harley for the sequel. Looks like he was agreeing with you in that, and just basically saying that he wants Harley in a Batman movie. Yeah, man. Like, their interaction is really funny. There's actually an animated film that's just like Batman and Harley Quinn. It's really good. It's really good. I like that one.
Nice.
Got the Bruce Timm Batman animated series feel and vibe to it. You guys think Bruce was trained to fight by Alfred in this universe? Or do you think we'll get some sort of League of Shadows / Assassins and Ra's al Ghul?
So Alfred had a line. He was like, you needed a father, not just someone who could teach you how to fight or something like that.
That's true. That's true.
When he was in the hospital bed. Which Andy Serkis did a great job, but that was kind of one of my negatives. I wish we got more Andy Serkis as Alfred in this. But he was really good in the scenes he was in. So maybe he did teach him how to fight in this.
Maybe, and I was thinking of that exact scene as well, Dan, where he says you also needed a father, is what he said, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
So implying that's just someone to teach you how to fight, implying that he taught him how to fight. So if anything, it speaks more to Alfred. What's his backstory?
Right. Which is something that there's like a Pennyworth show that's out right now and everything, that I know it's not supposed to be the same connected universe, but that maybe there's like shades of that are sprinkled into this Alfred's backstory. Because I do think that's much more of what they would be going for. I don't think that they would do the repetition of him going through the League of Shadows and dealing with Ra's al Ghul again. I would be surprised actually if Ra's al Ghul popped up in this iteration of these Batman movies. I'm not saying he couldn't.
Is that how you pronounce it? Is it Ra's al Ghul? I was calling him Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, that's actually they make a joke about that. Like that you're not wrong if you say Ra's. But like they will usually say, I think in Batman Begins, Liam Neeson makes a joke about that. But that, like, I guess the more traditional way, quote unquote, is Ra's.
Even Falcone was the pronunciation in the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah. But Falcone, which I think is the right one, probably.
Well, because there's Maroni, right? There's the Salvatore Maroni.
Oh,
and so to like it sounds kind of funny if you're like Maroni, Falcone.
Yeah.
Call up Big Tony.
Yeah.
Macaroni.
Is the Pennyworth show called Pennyworth?
Yeah, it's just called Pennyworth.
Okay, because I've heard of that show, but I didn't know it was actually Alfred.
Yeah, no, it's about a young Alfred and like, you know, his upbringing kind of before he was a full-blown butler and stuff like that.
Jesus, I could not care less. I could
Yeah,
not.
no, I know.
Give me circuses, Alfred. I may watch it, but
And is that on? What is that on?
HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's anything DC related, it's going to be on HBO Max.
No, I thought so. I didn't know if it was like CW.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Originally on CW.
Not CW.
Yeah.
That I will say, as far as with Andy Serkis's Alfred, the one thing that I actually think that they missed the mark on is not his performance, but like how you guys were saying, to showcase a little bit more of him. I really wanted there to be a little bit more of an emphasis on his relationship with Bruce, because like they did a good job. The parts they showed were what I was looking for. And I didn't need a whole fucking movie of it, right? But I did want just a little bit more. And the only reason why is because in the scene, when you realize that Alfred, like, you know, was in the building that exploded, right? That whole thing, you kind of are just like, oh, you should probably go do something about that. But there's not like this drastic, like, oh, fuck, Alfred. You know what I mean?
Wait, isn't that what he does, though? He keeps trying to call him while he's on his way to the Batcave.
Oh, no. I'm saying, like, not Batman's reaction, like my reaction.
Oh, your reaction.
From like an audience or viewer's perspective, it's kind of like, dude, make us care a little bit more. Like, I get it. We know who Alfred is. We know.
I knew he wasn't hurt when he threw it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's because he's just,
No, but yeah, nonetheless, I just kind of like, again, just from an audience member, I'm thinking like, dude, if you want us to give a shit that that Alfred just exploded and is in the hospital now, then you need to show us more of him. Or again, well, like, why do I care? Not like, you can't expect that just because I understand who Alfred and Batman are with each other, that I'm just instantly gonna give a shit. Like, dude, you know what I mean? You got to set the precedent there.
Yeah. Also, is it Alfred like to open Bruce's stuff and that's for Bruce's eyes only?
Oh man, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Dude, you almost said Balfred, which would be the relationship name there. The relationship name.
Say Balfred. Yeah.
I need a T-shirt of that, of Andy Serkis and Robert Pattinson together, and it says Balfred.
Also, do you guys think that, because the Riddler says in the scene, he was like, we didn't get Bruce Wayne, but we got everyone else. Do you think that package was meant to get Alfred, or do you think it was meant to get Bruce Wayne?
It was meant to get Bruce Wayne, because even the Riddler, you kind of thought he knew who Bruce Wayne was, and then he reveals he doesn't really know that Batman is Bruce Wayne. That being said, then yeah, Riddler thought that was for Bruce Wayne. That was 100% for Bruce Wayne.
That's it kind of, think about it real quick as far as like, how could it be for Alfred? Like, why would he want to do, you know what I mean? Why would he go through all that trouble just to have it where like Alfred's the one, you know?
Unless he knew he was Batman.
Unless he knew
which he didn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't that also another thing that, okay, like, I'm not let down because it's like, whatever, but it was so weird to me that they like made a significant effort to make us believe that he knew that he was Bruce Wayne just for him to spill the like his own beans in the own or that conversation where he's just like, no, right? It's like he says all this stuff, and you think that maybe Batman's gonna like see something that it's almost like some confirmation, you know, and then it's just like,
and they
he's just walking himself into a wall until he's like, yeah, no, so we got it, right, and it's like, oh, phew.
So I think that was the point, but yeah, like they wanted to surprise us. They wanted us to think that. So to add to the suspense, they think that he knew who Bruce Wayne was, because even the trailers, they had that part in there that he said Bruce Wayne.
They could have done a way better job than that little tiny reveal, that one little word he says that kind of makes the audience think that he doesn't know who Bruce Wayne is. Because even Francis, to this day, which it's not too long, we saw it on Saturday, but he said, did he know he was Bruce Wayne? I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I gotta see it again.
He said we didn't get the Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, no, he makes it clear that like that's the whole point of the scene is like it, which I can respect that. That's the purpose. They're trying to make it where it's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh phew. But it was like, I don't know. It was just kind of almost like a ball tease, like I'm gonna just tickle your balls real quick, and then just right. But then that's it. And I'm not. And by the way, like, not only am I gonna take my hand away, I'm not even gonna tell you why I tickled your balls. It was just like, what? Like, hold on a second. Wait. Because again, it's not like he's talking about everyone else so regularly, but then all of a sudden, Bruce Wayne, and then it's like, but then what's the point of your discussion is to explain how you guys didn't get him, but like you're sitting there like almost like he's saying it like in a bragging way, like Bruce Wayne. Yeah, fuck, we didn't get that guy. All right, anyway. It was just kind of...
It's true. Let's
see, Scofield was thrown out. I've heard this before, but I love, as far as being reminded by trivial facts like this. Fun fact, Batman Begins inspired them to reboot the James Bond franchise. That is indeed the case. I forgot who it was. That was like the main person who helmed the first couple of new James Bond movies. But yeah, they like made direct mention of that.
Nice.
But you could tell, man, they do got like very Nolan-esque feels to them.
They do.
Holy shit, is this true? I think Pierce Brosnan was almost cast as Alfred in this movie.
I think that's true.
I would be down for that.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, that works for me. I mean, I'm totally cool with seeing him as Dr. Fate. I think that's gonna be dope. But that would have been a really good Alfred, man. I like that thinking.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether you came up with that or maybe if that's just actual cast into it. But yeah, let's see here. And as we come kind of down to the end of what seems to be coming through, the Dark Knight trilogy also takes clear inspiration from old Bond movies because Nolan is a big Bond fan. They both really inspire each other cyclically. Is that how you say that word?
Cyclically.
Cyclically. Doesn't that sound like psychology type stuff, like psychically?
Oh my God.
Not sure what the fuck the sound effects were supposed to mean there.
No, man, it's cyclically.
Guys, we never mentioned Jeffrey Wright either as Gordon. I thought he was really good.
Shit. He was an awesome Gordon.
He was. I really liked him as Gordon. I liked him a lot better than the J.K. Simmons cameo we got in Justice League.
Yeah. J.K. Simmons, I'm down for it. And I actually feel like shame, man, because he was supposed to be coming back as like a main role when Ben Affleck was supposed to stay on. And it does make me wonder if he's supposed to play more of a role in the Batgirl movie coming up. Because they've already kind of got something, like they've confirmed that.
Well, I think Batgirl takes place in the Keaton universe.
No, dude, Keaton's like the purpose of and again, I mean, I will be stand corrected if I'm wrong, but from everything I understand, Flashpoint is gonna bring Keaton's Batman here.
Oh, okay. Well,
DCU?
Yeah. Now, and I could be wrong, right? Or it could be to the fact of maybe not so much that he like just directly brings him here, but that like those universes collide.
And I only say that because there's set photos of Keaton and Batgirl.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's definitely the Bruce Wayne of that movie. But again, the point is like the Flashpoint movie is Ben Affleck's swan song, and then is to reintroduce Michael Keaton. Not obviously to recast Ben Affleck, that like his Bruce Wayne is taking the place of what Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne was. And they're kind of going as far as saying he's like the Nick Fury of the DCEU.
Man, they should have just had Ben Affleck there. If he doesn't want to do Batman, he doesn't have to do Batman, but maybe I'm sure he could be convinced to do a cameo here and there.
Mm-hmm. My biggest issue is this. I don't want to see an old, downtrodden Batman who's like past his best days and needs to be convinced to like get up and running to do shit. You know what I mean? Like, or is like that cynical old man and everything. It's a cool story. I love the Dark Knight Returns, right? Like that comic / animated stuff. That's dope.
Yeah.
But for this, when you're first ever putting together your Justice League in live action, dude, you need like your prime versions of everybody. You got Henry Cavill's Superman that I know things are like so back and forth, but dude, that's like prime Superman. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, prime Wonder Woman. Ezra Miller's Flash, he's a rookie Flash, but that kind of is okay. It's making sense. Jason Momoa's Aquaman, like, just became Aquaman and is pretty fucking prime Aquaman. Cyborg seems like he's out of the picture, but you get my point, right? Is that like, these are all people that are like kind of either at their peak or getting to their peak.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got some grandpa Batman. No, dude, I want to see a young, top of his smarts Bruce Wayne that is also in like peak physical capability that is there to lead the Justice League with Superman.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, me too.
Because otherwise, dude, it's like, imagine if the MCU, the very first Avengers movie, like imagine, right? So you got Thor coming in, he's fucking badass, right? You got Hulk coming in, and he's tearing shit up. And then all of a sudden you got like Captain America coming by, who technically he's already an old guy, you know what I mean? But he's like, coming back, he's not an old guy anymore, dude, I'm gonna kick some ass. And then all of a sudden Iron Man shows up and he's fucking grandpa status. And there's like, okay, I mean, I guess that works because he's got a suit, so it'll help him and stuff, but like, what the fuck? Isn't this just like, one of these things is not like the other?
Yeah.
So I just wish, I don't know, man. I wish that they would kind of try to take that into perspective. And it seems like they've kind of just said, fuck that, because now what appears to be the case is they're going to make it so Michael Keaton's Batman is going to step in, like I said, be the Nick Fury. He's going to train up Batgirl, and Batgirl's going to take the Batman spot of the Justice League, which... I don't know, man. Like, I love Batgirl as a character, but I don't need her to replace Batman. I want her to be in working in tandem with him.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I agree.
So I don't know. Got some mixed emotions about that. What's up, Brian?
Hey.
DMG, what's up?
How you be, my guy? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. What is he dropping in here? I hope that the Batman sequel brings in Robin in a prominent role as a hero. There you go, John. For the express reason of pissing off people that hate Robin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you know what, man? If for anybody that doesn't like the character of Robin, I'm going to go as far, they just don't understand the story of Robin. I would go as far as this. For anybody that's like, oh, dude, I hate Robin. Which one?
Yeah.
And just watch them be a fucking deer in headlights with their answer. Because if they can't even tell you, right? Like, dude, I hate Jason Todd because he's a whiny little bitch boy and deserved to die, right? Or something like that. Then it's like, okay, I could actually see where you're coming from, although I like Jason Todd. But my point is, like, now you have a distinct opinion. But if you're just going to be like, oh, dude, fuck Robin. Do you know how many Robins there have been? 6 off the top of my head I could think of. 6. And I'm probably not even thinking of all of them.
Damn.
Yeah, man. It's ridiculous. There's Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Damian Wayne, who's Bruce Wayne's son, Stephanie Brown, what's her face? Carrie Kelly from the Dark Knight Returns series. Boom. Yeah. There's 6 different fucking Robins. And again, I could be missing a little bit here. But point is like, yeah, that's like if anybody doesn't appreciate that character, it's because they don't appreciate or understand the story. No, I don't mean cynic. Oh, this is it looks like Schofield was trying to correct that cyclically word, but apparently no, he doesn't mean cynically. He means cyclically. Like one inspires one, then it inspires the other. I'm just gonna go with cyclically. Although that
cyclically. I don't know how you say that.
I know, man. It's gonna I'm gonna go to sleep confused as fuck about that word.
Yeah, it's same here.
Hey, you know what though? Hold on, you're making me think. Hold on, wait, ready? Cyclically. Hold on. I got this, guys.
I was trying to do it. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Hold on, wait. How does it do it? Why can't I do it? Oh, where's the thing? All right, I don't know, John, if you got it. It's not doing it for me.
I don't have it. No, I thought you had it.
Cyclically.
Cyclically.
Schofield looks like he's fallen into the category of hating Robin, which, forgive me, because all the comments I was just throwing out were, it seems like, as far as directed to anybody that didn't like it. But I do stand by that, right? It's like, take it with a grain of salt. But seriously, man, I genuinely mean, like, dude, maybe do some deeper diving into the Robin, lore. And I think you'll actually probably find, like, you know what, maybe I don't like this version because maybe that's the only version I've seen. But this over here, this is dope. Because, dude, you got first Robin becomes Nightwing, second Robin dies, becomes Red Hood, third Robin becomes Red Robin eventually. Damian Wayne is just a badass douchebag Robin. Like, it's great, man. It is great. Let's see. I'm glad you like them, and so far we got a 20-year-old version and then the 2 worst Batman movies in 2012 sequel. Yeah, I don't know. That at least is fair. Like I said, if you're going strictly off movies, there's not anything good to go off. If you got to dig into the animated stuff in the comics for that. The other thing I hope for the Batman sequel is that he's not a peeping Tom. We're staring at little kids like the first film.
Yo, that is kind of weird.
Yo, okay, wait. This is a very legitimate point to just speak on very briefly. Is he or is he not a total fucking creep for just like?
But you know what? That is Batman.
I know.
Like that's Batman, and that's part of his flaws. It is.
I mean, and the funny thing is, even when he uses technology to his aid, which makes it feel like it's not as creepy, it totally is.
Yeah.
He just has a more advanced, convenient way to do his stalking. But again, I'm right there with you, John, because jokes aside, like, look, that really he is that person where it's like that's how he gets his intel. You know what I mean? It's how he finds out as much as he does. But it is noticeable of like, yeah, to have like those long lingering shots.
He saw Catwoman like change and everything.
No, yeah, dude, exactly. And not just that, but when she was changing, it's not like he was like,
oh, quick question. Did Bruce Wayne find out Catwoman's name in the movie, and did I miss it? Or was it implied that maybe they knew each other from past encounters?
That's a good question. I don't think that it's that they know each other. I think they were trying to give some sort of implication that Bruce Wayne is just like really, really smart, for lack of better terms. Like he was able to pick up on that or something. I don't know for sure, but that was weird.
I just answered my own question. I was thinking of when he called her Selena.
Yeah.
His contact tells you the identification of the person he's looking at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. 100%.
Yeah.
Much easier answer than just him being the world's greatest detective. World's greatest technology. I like Dick Grayson, but some are pretty annoying. Again, man, I think I'd go as far as saying I think the only one that comes off as annoying. Actually, hold on. So Damian Wayne could be fucking annoying. He's Bruce Wayne's son, so he's got a very stubborn mindset, and it's not just that he's Bruce Wayne's son. He was raised by Talia al Ghul in the League of Assassins to like be a killer from birth. So he's got like this conflicted, I'm trying to just go out and like kill people because that's what my mom and grandpa told me to do. But then my dad is like the superhero and he annoys me, but I respect the fuck out of him. So I'm caught somewhere in the middle. So he's kind of like annoying and conflicted. Jason Todd, the second Robin, was definitely a bit conflicted and was much more of like the, just like typical bad boy that was like, just getting himself into trouble and was a lot harder to redeem. And it was actually the audience that voted in. That was the only time that they did something like that. They had the fucking audience vote to kill him off. And that's why that happened, but ended up being one of the coolest stories ever. But Dick Grayson's really cool. Tim Drake is awesome. Tim Drake's undoubtedly, I would go as far as saying like, you can't top Dick, but Tim, that was a great as far as like little snippet there. But Tim Drake is without a doubt like he's the one Robin that like not only does his best but always does his best for the sake of Bruce. Like he's just so about Bruce. Where like when it comes down to it, Dick Grayson was like, hey, dude, you're my partner in this crime fight and stuff, but like stop trying to fucking rule every bit of my life. So anyway, that's all I'll say about that. And then just for the girls, I can only say so much. Stephanie Brown was really cool. Carrie Kelly can fuck off though. I just don't really care for her much. She kind of annoys me. And it looks like Damian can easily be sometimes the worst one. Nightwing looks fucking dope. It's just as a character, I'm guessing. I mean, because I don't think that they have like any movies or anything like that as far as in the works. I think the way I've said it.
Cynical.
Oh.
Cyclical.
Cyclically. cyclically. That is the thing of the night. Truth, I think that they may have been because they actively wanted to gaslight Robin fans and kill off the character altogether, just like awful BVS. Ooh, awful BVS. That's another thing that's a shame, man, is like if we would have got a chance to see more of Ben Affleck's Batman, that we probably would have got a little bit more in-depth clarity as far as what did happen. Are you going to talk about these Robins? I was always curious, like, the movies love to switch stuff up in the comics, so I kind of thought, are they going to pull some stunt where it's like, oh, it's actually Dick Grayson that died in this universe? And then it'd be like,
remember the theory that Jared Leto's Joker was Robin?
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah. Fuck that. Oh my God. That would have been so stupid.
Jason, I would have loved it. I would have loved it. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know how they would have spun that, because here's the thing: the only time that there is a story similar to that is there is a Return of the Joker. It's a Batman Beyond story, and long story short, there's a flashback to when Tim Drake was Robin, and Joker kidnaps him and like brainwashes him to be a mini Joker, and like literally just drives him insane. That's like the closest that there ever was to that, though. So I don't know. But I'm not a fan of Jared Leto's Joker. I think I'll have a newfound respect for Jared Leto when I see Morbius. I hope.
Yeah, don't watch House Gucci to try to get a newfound respect.
John, I think I heard someone knock at your door. Dan's delivering you pizza.
Yes, pizza time. Pizza time.
I should say, though, I never read any comics. Okay, then Schofield, like I said, that's my biggest little bit of advice there, for lack of better terms. I mean, I know it's tough because, like, well, which ones do I start with? That's a good question. There's a lot to kind of kick off with, and it would really be tough when it comes to Batman comics, especially ones focusing on Robin, that I would like say that are good to kick off with. But you know what, man? Start off maybe with some of the animated films. I think you're really doing yourself a favor. And if you're going to do that and you want to get a good grasp of a good Robin-focused story, though it's not on the first Robin, Under the Red Hood. Watch Batman Under the Red Hood. It focuses on the story of Jason Todd, what happened to him. It's great. It's one of my favorite animated films that DC's put out. And John's back with his pizza.
Did you watch this in IMAX, Dolby Cinema? What did you guys watch it in?
Dolby.
We don't have a Dolby here, John.
Oh yeah, I a lot of people say Dolby's better than IMAX.
Oh, okay. Jace, did you just watch it on standard? I'm guessing.
Standard. I do have intentions, though. I have plans to go back and see it a second time in IMAX.
Okay, I was going to ask if you guys have intentions to see it again.
You're basic. Chase, you're basic.
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Well,
yeah, I do, Dan.
Okay, yeah, so I saw it in IMAX the first time and then 40X the second time. And when the Batmobile not even just the chase scene, but when the Batmobile starts, the seats were shaking like in the IMAX theater. The whole auditorium was like shaking. It was awesome.
Damn.
The chase scene was so cool. And in 40X, it's wild. Yeah.
Yo, I got to see something in 40X, man. I'm missing out over here.
Yeah.
It just sounds like you're going to like a theme park ride every time.
It's almost, it's almost.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. And if anybody's sitting here going like, the hell are you talking about? I don't know what 4 and D and X put together are referring to. Then go check out the Upside Dan and watch all his 40X reviews to find out what it's all about.
Thank you.
I did like that Tim Drake from Titans shows up as the gang member trainer. Is that Tim Drake too? Crossover. Damn, Brian. I don't know, man. I have been slacking on Titans. I saw the first season, got super hyped to see the second, heard good things about it, and haven't seen it yet. And I know that they're past that point now too. I want to keep watching it. It was a very different take on the Titans. Don't get me wrong, but like I wasn't really against it. You know, even the stuff that I had issues with, I was still down to watch more. So I got to get back to that. This way I could fairly speak on the Tim Drake that's in there. But I will say this. Tim Drake ain't no gang member trainer. So That seems like a very different approach, for lack of better terms. Tim Drake is like almost like this kind of like very cool, dorky kid that's just as much into the detective side of things as Bruce Wayne is. So that's the thing, like where Dick Grayson was kind of like a best of both worlds. Jason Todd was much more of just like the Batman type because he liked to beat people up. Tim Drake was like very investigative, and he actually was the first person to find out Bruce Wayne was Batman on his own. That's like what started everything up. And then, yeah, it goes on from there. The rest is history. To be fair, though, if there was any Robin that fit with the movie the best, it's the 1966 one.
Wow.
But I mean, it does. It does. Yeah. I don't know. He fit for that really well. I can't disagree with it.
Gee Willikers, Batman.
Gee Willikers. Holy hand grenade, Batman. I would have been down for Jared Leto to have been Robin. The real Joker wouldn't have sucked. Robin also becomes Joker in The Dark Knight Strikes Again. Huh.
Is this like a comic book? You know how they do those preludes or...
Yeah, wait. And I'm not too sure because that does sound familiar, but I can't say familiar enough to where I know it all too well. Interesting. I'm going to have to look that up, man. I'm going to have to look that up. Because I want to see, like, as far as who, like, which Robin is it that becomes, especially if it's, like, later down the, I don't know. I got to look that up. Dark Knight Strikes Again. Interesting. Crazy how this movie is mostly based on the same stories that inspires Batman Begins, Batman Year One, and The Dark Knight, Long Halloween. Oh my God. Have you guys seen Batman Year One?
No. Not yet. It's on my list.
I'm not joking. You don't even need to watch the whole movie. Do yourselves a favor. Go listen to a clip of Batman talk from Batman Year One, and you'll be like, holy fuck, it's Robert Pattinson.
Wow. That's cool.
And it's, yeah, and I mean that, like, definitely in a good way. I'm not joking. I would love to, like, talk to him about it, being like, dude, in a cool way, right? Like, I respect this. Did you get some inspiration from Batman Year One? Because if you didn't, then, like, do you realize how absurdly close your take on it is to this? They're almost identical.
Wait, Jason, it's not a bad thing, though, if he did.
I just said that.
Oh, no. I thought you were, like, accusing him of copying, basically.
No, man, what the fuck? You think that just because, like, someone done it, you can fucking go and just do whatever you want, man? Like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, bro, but, like, just because someone done it, you can't just do a voice that's already done before, man. Let's see. Eric, go see a fifth time, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, I couldn't.
That's a lot, Eric.
I couldn't have seen it that many times. I loved it, but
wow. I mean, like, yeah, I like it a lot. And again, I have no problem with knowing, like, 100%. I want to go see it again. It's right. We talked about the length and so on and so forth. But you know what? That's not anywhere near enough to where it's like, oh, I don't know if I should see it again, though. It's totally worth it. 5 fucking times, though?
It's a lot.
And, like, he's talking within a quick span of time, too. It just came out. He's already saw it 4 times.
You've seen it Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my gosh. Bro, I love me Batman, but, like, I'd be on overdose.
I honestly, if it wasn't a 40X screening and I wasn't going to do it for my channel, I don't know if I would have went the next night. I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but I would have probably waited a couple nights at least.
That's... Gosh,
and yeah, I probably am going to see it one more time, but
that's fair. But yeah, no, Scoville's doing the math for it just to break it down. Dude, that's 15 fucking hours of the Batman. Woo!
Yeah. And he saw Uncharted a lot of times too. He just loves to go see movies a lot of times.
That's true. What? Because then we'll like No Time to Die. Eric, wasn't it 5?
5 or 6, yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah. And then Suicide Squad was a lot. The Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad.
And actually, this kind of perfectly answers this because I was just wondering. I was like, hold on, how is Eric even still hanging around? I thought he had his own stream that he was going to go to.
Yeah,
but it seems as though it's been delayed. Well, I'm glad that's the case, so you can hang out, my friend. That is dang. Well, I mean, I feel bad. I hope that. What's that?
Now, you said that was dang, and I said tootin'.
Hope that everything's all good though, and that you guys still get your stream kicked up shortly here.
The Riddler's taking over.
Bum 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 bum. So I'm a diehard DC fan, but the live action TV stuff so far, except Peacemaker, is just agonizing. It's not on the level of quality it should be. Have you guys seen any other shows for DC besides Peacemaker?
Nah, Peacemaker was amazing. I don't think anything else exists.
I'm not saying the
Loved
same
it.
thing, but yeah, Peacemaker was amazing. I watched the first episode of Arrow. Not for me at least.
Wow.
Well,
I can't say that from the first episode, but like, dude, the first 2 seasons of Arrow are that's good, like Arrow stuff. I know it's
never got
CW.
into it. I don't know. The Flash
It's very
is what
Batman-esque.
The Flash is what I would have checked out, but I'm not 8 seasons or whatever they're on. I don't want to watch unless it was good. Like if it was a good Flash show, but not this.
Yes and no. Again, the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. But no, other than that, there was one that my friend said was amazing. It's on name some DC shows, like the not CW ones.
There's Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. Yeah, my friend was saying that's amazing.
I hear
Doom
that.
Patrol's, it's fucking weird. Like it's an interesting show and it's fun to watch, but like I remember watching throughout the whole first season just being like, what the fuck is going on here? Like I could not really tell. And maybe it's because I watched it too spaced apart. That could be part of it. But yeah, it was just like a confusing story for me. But still interesting. Still interesting. It's not like I wouldn't keep watching it and stuff. But yeah, Doom Patrol, Titans. Feel like there's that Pennyworth show that we were talking about.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm like curious about the Pennyworth show just because I'm like, really a series about Alfred, but so I might check it out just to see.
Well, because dude, remember it's like it's a younger Alfred, and something that people don't realize is like some people are like, oh, how could that be interesting? You're just gonna tell me a story of a butler before he was a butler? Dude, you got to realize before he was a butler, he was like in the fucking army and like I don't know, had a lot of combat training and stuff. Dude had some mad experience as far as before he got to be the Wayne's right hand dude. What do we got here?
Jace.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's see. As we basically, because we're kind of close as far as to towards the end here anyway. We got a couple of last things. Yeah. As far as the shows go, looks like people are just commenting on that. Oh, look at this. Perfect. The person who filled me in on the decency of the show in the first place. Hi, Nazim.
Hey, Nazim.
What's going on? Yeah, so actually she's the one, she's watching it like a little bit more in depth right now. So I think that like that's where I got like the most of my opinion on it from, or even just like knowledge of it in general, because I knew it existed before she saw it, but she's the one that's kind of like getting me a little bit more kind of even hyped myself to, it's like, maybe I should check that out. Maybe I should check that out.
Like I said, I've heard of it before, but I thought it was just something separate. I didn't imagine they would do an Alfred show, but I didn't know that he had that past. So
that's he was fucking James Bond when he was younger, bro.
It seems it.
Let's see. This is literally the last thing I'll pop up here. And guys, appreciate it so much in advance with all the comments and everything. I know there's at least a couple more as far as that I couldn't get to. So just thank you for whatever that we did happen to put in. Very last thing that kind of closes out here. I can, if you guys wanted to say anything, you can, but I will answer this one very quickly. Gotham's the worst show. I don't even want to watch it. Like
I watched the first episode of Gotham. Yeah, it was fine, but it wasn't for me really.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen neither of these.
Doom Patrol, like I said, has at least got of enough of a unique factor. It's very interesting, and I don't mean to say that like Gotham literally has no watchability to it, but for me personally, I find it very odd to watch an entire show about a young James Gordon going up against Batman villains before Batman exists.
Yeah.
And I know that there's other things in there besides that, but that's not for me really. And I think honestly, the only part that would be worth watching about Gotham is, oh my gosh, what's his name? The redhead guy.
Cameron Monaghan.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So he plays their I don't know if they ever refer to him as the Joker, but
No, I
he
don't think
plays
so.
the Joker for that show.
Yeah.
And that would be the only thing that I'd ever be interested in seeing, because he does seem like he did a good job with that.
What I've seen, he has. Yeah, it seemed like he did good.
I prefer Cal Kestis myself.
Hey, yo, I got a strong feeling that I don't know when, but I think they designed him to look like that guy, because I think Cal Kestis is going to pop up in live action sometime soon.
Yo, I hope so.
But that's another stream. So at least as we are getting everything to a close here, Katie, thank you so much for stopping by. It is definitely good to see you. Eric, thank you so much, as far as he threw out just great stream. Looks like he's finally going off to his own stream. So might go ahead and check that out, my dude.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll check it out.
Absolutely. Peace, John C. Oh, there was a... Why, John? I was just about to like show some love.
Maybe because you didn't like Gotham. Does he like Gotham?
Maybe.
Or it's just random. He just has to fight you now.
I don't know, man. But John, I can't, dude. You're my buddy, and I can't fight you like that.
Man,
The closest that
you're my buddy too.
Yeah, no.
You're talking about John. Never mind.
Yeah, this John. No, yeah, the closest that ever got. John, because I know you'd kick my ass. That's why. And in case this is as far as like we're one John, this other John is like he used to like fight like for real, like as far as like mixed martial arts shit and everything. The closest that we ever got to this was he kicked me in the thigh once, and it hurt like a bitch.
I can just imagine Jace going, "Ow, that hurt."
Yeah, but it's not like it was unprovoked. It was more like me and a buddy of mine were like, "Go ahead, dude. Go ahead, kick me in the leg, man. I'm tough.
Francis is recording me. I guess I don't know. We're gonna get some behind the scenes footage for this, apparently.
Oh shit! Yes, yo, Francis, throw it on the Patreon.
I'll link the audio together when I get it.
Hi, Francis.
But I just thought of that meme. The guy that goes, Adam.
Wait, which one?
And with the guy that goes, Adam. You never seen that?
Yeah. What is that from?
He's like doing a smoke trick, and then the guy just takes it out, and he's like, Adam. I just imagine you doing that to John, is all. When he kicked you in the thigh.
John.
I can't believe you've done this.
There was something earlier, by the way. I'm not going to go back and try to find it, but he left a comment that I thought was cool, because he was like, you were saying something, you were going on like some rant, and he was like, I like this other John. He's giving off good John vibes.
That's all we live by. We live by good John vibes. Without good John vibes, we kind of just turn off.
Yup. Well, you know what? I feel like this is instead of just trying to make it some awkward ass ending where, you know, what are we gonna say here? Let's go ahead and do our typical thing. Whoops! That was not the typical thing I was trying to do. God,
I thought you were speed running. It's like, yep. So subscribe to Man of Movies, out. Subscribe to Man, out. Subscribe to me, out.
Yeah, no, that was totally me clicking the wrong thing there. All right, John, go ahead, man. Tell us about yourself and where we can find you.
Oh man, wasn't ready for this. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Jonathan. I have a channel here on YouTube. I got a lot of videos you could probably go back on and check out, but I haven't been as active lately. Just a lot of stuff happened in my personal life, but I am very active on Instagram, Man of Movies 96. That's Man of Movies 96. I'm always on Instagram, very active there. When it comes to YouTube, though, I have been focusing a lot with me, the Upside Dan, and Sean from Lost in the Real have our Off to the Races series where we talk about award season. Don't know if any of you would be interested in that, but if you are, check us out. We have videos scattered throughout all of our channels, all leading up to the Oscars. And we actually have an Oscar pool up where if you're interested, you could vote for who you think is going to win certain categories for the Oscars. It's all scored. So come Oscar night, we're going to have a live show and we're going to score it. We're going to see who won, who's going to be the best predictor out of everyone who was involved and participated in that. So hopefully, Jace, you can link that down post edit.
Oh, that's asking a bit too much. No, yeah, of course I can. Of course I can. No, that would be the least that I can do. Yes, please, guys, go ahead and check all of that out, right? As far as everything Cinema Squad related, this ain't just a solo endeavor here. This is a team effort, and you got to support the team. Are you guys putting that exclusively on the Cinema Squad channel now, or?
I think next year. I think they're going on the Cinema Squad channel, but we're not going live from the Cinema Squad channel. I'm sure we're going to start that next year because we only have like 2 award shows before the Oscars.
Okay. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that's also an indirect mention real quick that, guys, if you haven't already, and if you're not aware of it, because, hey, there's maybe some people, I don't know how, but maybe some people that didn't see the Rubber Duckies. So if you haven't, go check out, there is now a page, the YouTube page for the Cinema Squad. That's right. All of us together in one spot. Can you believe it?
Cheer.
So go ahead. What's up, Dan?
Cheer.
Well, and that's a perfect way for me to non-awkwardly transition over to the Upside Down. Go ahead, bud. Fill us on in. What you got going on with your channel?
Oh,
yeah. I'm Dan from the Upside Dan, and this is the Upside Down. No, anyway,
it's messy ass room.
I know.
I'm just kidding. You can't even see it.
No, I know, but in my messy hair. But anyway, it's fine. So, make me your 40X guy. Like we mentioned earlier in the stream, like I go to 40X showings. If you don't know what that is, I have a 40X video. And, I just tell you if it's worth it or not. Also, I was able to see Netflix's The Adam Project early, so I'm hoping to have a review up later tonight. So definitely check that out. I'm excited to talk about it with everyone. That comes out March. The movie Ryan Reynolds led comes out March 11th on Netflix. And I have a Batman non-spoiler review, Batman 40X review. Yeah, so, and then, like John said, I'm a part of the Off to the Races, and we all did the Rubber Duckies together, and we look forward to having more Cinema Squad stuff coming up.
100%. And in case you were thinking, what the fuck, guys? No love for Jason Off to the Races? Don't you worry. I'm the guy that says, and we're off to the races. There you go.
It's going to be one of those golden gems, those Easter eggs where like 50 years down the line, did you know that Jace Burns is actually the voice of... because sometimes I'm not even kidding. As that intro and outro are going, I forget it's you, and I go, "Oh yeah, Jace is a part of this." I forget.
That's right. Because I am too selfish and greedy and just full of myself to not let me be a part of at least some capacity of every project. Got to be involved. No, I'm glad that was able to work for that, because it does. I feel like it adds to that whole setting to get things started up, and I love what you guys are doing over there with that series. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to it. Like, as far as it keep on going, as I threw up very quickly, guys, if you haven't already, pop on over to both of their channels just to subscribe, but then also to get to what John was saying about putting your votes in for that stuff, because we love interactivity, with the community and everything like that. It makes it that much more fun to go about and doing this stuff. Obviously, if you are here, then I don't need to necessarily tell you, but
screenshot.
Did you do it yet?
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Oh yeah.
Did you subscribe?
Oh no, I did something else.
Okay. All right, but no, I genuinely do appreciate it. I'm happy to say that I've kind of started to, after a couple of unintentional breaks, gotten back in the swing of some things here. So be on the lookout for some stuff that is coming your way. Specifically, there's actually just a review on the Batman. So we got a chance to talk about a lot of our thoughts here, but nonetheless got a chance to go a little bit more in depth and more concise, obviously, for certain things. So be on the lookout for that. I will keep it a little bit in the dark as far as what will be coming afterwards. But again, I'm very excited to be bringing a lot to my channel within the next couple of weeks/months here. I got a lot of stuff lined up. So hope that you're looking as much forward to it as I am. And guys, thank you so much as far as for my Cinema Squad bros hanging out with me here tonight, talking about this awesome movie. Thank you so much for everyone that stopped by while we were going live, dropping those comments in. Appreciate the support. Like this video. If you didn't already, make sure you share it around with some peoples that also want to hear some other person's yap about the Batman and stuff. And that's really it, guys, right? I guess there's nothing else for the moment. So until next time, Loki Squad out.